Chapter 3604. Bam! The tyrant god's spear successfully broke through the flame centipede's defense. The spear pierced through the front and back of the spear, and a violent burst of energy exploded. The flame centipede's body exploded into two, and it fell directly to the ground. In that spear strike, Lu Ming had already unleashed the power of the Overlord God's spear after severing the shackles. Apart from not using other Origin secret techniques, Lu Ming's individual attack power had almost reached the limit and easily broke through the fire centipede's defense. Both third-level divine lords, the fire centipede race's prodigy was more talented and stronger than the sacred fire saber sex prodigy. Facing the sacred fire saber sex prodigy, Lu Ming didn't need to activate the power of the primordial divine blood. Facing the fire centipede race's prodigy, Lu Ming was more or less the same after activating the power of the primordial divine blood. After killing a fire centipede, the Overlord God's spear swept across and hit another fire centipede. With a bang, this fire centipede also exploded and died on the spot. How is this possible? Damn it, this isn't real. The remaining 8 fire centipedes were shocked and couldn't believe it. Needless to say, their fire centipede race's attack power was very strong, but their defense power was even stronger. It could be said that they had both bow and body. Apart from being a little slow, they were very strong in all other aspects. But now, the defense power that they were so proud of couldn't even withstand a single blow in front of Lu Ming. They were scared. Retreat, leave this place. This kid is strange. Go back and bring everyone together. Let young Master Wu Tian kill him. Let's go. The remaining 8 fire centipedes were scared and wanted to retreat, wanting to leave this place. It's too late to leave now. Kill. Lu Ming roared as other Origin secret techniques appeared on his body. In an instant, he used at least 7 or 8 Origin secret techniques. Apart from the auxiliary Origin secret techniques like the Heavenly Dark Shield and the Primordial Divine Dragon Horn, Lu Ming used all the other offensive Origin secret techniques. Ding-ling-ling. The wicked bell vibrated, and a soul-shaking sound wave spread out, making the 8 fire centipedes tremble. Then, the void-shattering sword, the sky devil blade, the gate of the sovereign, the moon of the moon, the sun of the sun. All kinds of Origin secret arts were launched. These Origin secret techniques all severed a shackle, and when unleashed, their power was astonishing. A flaming centipede was split in half by the sky demon blade. Then, the other fire centipede's head was pierced by the void-breaking sword, and its soul was annihilated. At the same time, a large hand reached out from the gate of domination and crushed a fire centipede alive. The moon of the moon and the sun of the sun sprinkled down multicolored light, turning the bodies of the 2 flame centipedes into ashes. Lu Ming swept out with the tyrant god's spear in his hand, causing the fire centipedes to explode one after another. Lu Ming went all out. In just a few breaths of time, the remaining 8 fire centipedes were all slaughtered. In fact, these flame centipedes didn't even have time to take out their illusory godly jades to spread the news before they were killed. It feels so good to return to my peak. Lu Ming was in high spirits, but he quickly calmed down. Although these flame centipedes couldn't withstand a single blow, Lu Ming wouldn't underestimate the heroes of the world. The fire centipede race was only ranked in the top 10,000 of the great desolate 10,000 races. Although their bloodline talent was powerful, it was limited. However, the races ranked at the top of the great desolate 10,000 races had astonishing bloodline talent and powerful combat strength. If their cultivation was 2 levels higher than Lu Ming's, Lu Ming would most likely not be their match. For example, Yi Bo of the Winged Men was suppressed to the early 2nd level of the Divine Lord realm by Dragon Might, but his combat strength was extremely powerful. Lu Ming had to unleash his full strength to kill him. One could imagine what kind of existences were in the top 100 or even the top 10 races of the great desolate 10,000 races. It was hard to predict. Perhaps the top 10 races had geniuses who could compete with Lu Ming at the same level, or even be stronger than Lu Ming. That would be normal. Those races' bloodline talent was too strong. If they had some fortuitous encounters, they would be extremely shocking and abnormal. In addition, those weak races couldn't be underestimated either. Even in the small world, people like Lu Ming and Di Jenny could come out. It would be normal for there to be any kind of abnormal people. Lu Ming quickly composed himself. He kept the corpses of the fire centipede race in a storage ring and threw it to Hozhou. Naturally, Hozhou was dumbfounded. Hozhou, have you heard any news during this time? Lu Ming asked. Brother Lu, there's no news about the two girls you mentioned. Hozhou shook his head. Lu Ming was slightly disappointed, but he quickly recovered. The Black Dragon family had limited manpower. It wasn't easy to obtain news about Autumn Moon and Xian Yanqing. However, we've heard quite a bit about the surrounding area. Hozhou said. Tell me about it. Lu Ming asked. Now, the public area of the fantasy space was still quiet. Lu Ming could only rely on the Black Dragon family to obtain information. Now, a large number of outsiders have arrived. During this time, the 3 continents of the Dragon Clan's mother planet have been gradually appearing. Hozhou began to explain in detail. Lu Ming had learned before that the entire Dragon Clan's mother planet had a total of 3 continents. Between the large continents was an endless ocean. The 3 continents were the Soaring Dragon Continent, the Soaring Dragon Continent, and the Dragon Spirit Continent. The continent where the Black Dragon family was located was in the southeast of the Soaring Dragon Continent. Each of the 3 continents was vast and boundless. The Black Dragon clan only occupied a small part of it. On the 3 continents, there were countless forces of the Dragon Human clan. During this time, a large number of outsiders have arrived and they are very powerful. They are all existences of the Divine Sovereign Realm. With their powerful strength, they control the forces of the Dragon Clan's mother planet to do things for them, plunder treasures and divine herbs for them. They also occupy various ruins and sacred grounds. Sigh. Hozhou sighed as he spoke. His face was very ugly. The Dragon Human clan of the Dragon Clan's mother planet was simply enslaved by the outsiders and used as slaves. If it weren't for Lu Ming, the Black Dragon family would have been enslaved by other outsiders. They were incomparably angry but helpless. Their strength was inferior, so what could they do? It wasn't that no one resisted. Those who resisted were directly beheaded. Lu Ming nodded and didn't speak. This result was very normal. The Dragon Clan's mother planet had been recovering for 100 years. Not only were there divine herbs in the ruins and sacred grounds, but there were also a large number of divine herbs and other treasures in other places. It was normal for outsiders to control the Dragon Human clan on the Dragon Clan's mother planet and enslave these people to plunder various treasures. Have you heard any news about those flaming centipedes? Lu Ming asked. Hozhou nodded and said, to the west of our Black Dragon family, there was originally a force called the Golden Dragon family. There were many flaming centipedes that occupied the Golden Dragon family. Chapter 3605. The Golden Dragon family? Lu Ming muttered. Yes, and the Golden Dragon family has an ancient ruin called the Golden Dragon Ridge. Legend has it that the Golden Dragon tribe lived there in the ancient times. Quan Zhou said. Golden Dragon Ridge. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Lu Ming was very interested in the sacred sites on the Dragon tribe's mother planet. Just the Black Dragon Valley alone had given him many surprises. What kind of treasures would there be in the other sacred sites? Lu Ming was looking forward to it. However, he had not finished exploring the Black Dragon Valley and was not in a hurry to go to other places. Lu Ming planned to explore the Black Dragon Valley before going to the Golden Dragon Ridge. After chatting with Quan Zhou for a while, Lu Ming went back to his room and took out the Genesis grass to refine. 2 days later, the last 2 stalks of Genesis grass were refined by Lu Ming. His overlord divine force had successfully broken through and awakened 5 times. In this way, Lu Ming had 2 types of divine force and his origin source divine force had awakened 5 times. Lu Ming's combat strength had increased again. Let's go to the Black Dragon Valley. Lu Ming got up and walked out of his room to find Quan Zhou. During this time, Quan Zhou had been refining divine herbs and his cultivation had improved rapidly. He was approaching the 5th layer of the God King realm. This speed was unbelievable outside. However, it was normal in the Dragon tribe's mother planet. The dragon men were born in the Dragon tribe's mother planet and had dragon veins connecting them. They were more compatible with each other. After absorbing the energy and divine herbs from the dragon tribe's mother planet, their cultivation had improved faster than the outsiders. Everyone's cultivation had improved rapidly. When Lu Ming told Quan Zhou that he wanted to go to the Black Dragon Valley, Quan Zhou agreed without hesitation. Lu Ming was the Black Dragon family's backer now. Without Lu Ming, the Black Dragon family would be taken over by the outsiders and they would have nothing left. Lu Ming opened the Black Dragon Valley and entered it again. Lu Ming did not stop outside and quickly went to the place where the mirror was last time. Lu Ming went through the mirror without hesitation. The pressure seems to have lessened. Lu Ming's heart stirred. He realized that the pressure behind the mirror was not as great as before. Looks like the Black Dragon Valley will be completely revealed sooner or later. Everyone might be able to enter. Lu Ming pondered for a moment before his figure flashed and he began to search for treasures. Soon, Lu Ming found a few stalks of divine herbs that were full of life vitality. Lu Ming put it away unceremoniously. That's Dragon Blood Stone. Suddenly, Lu Ming's eyes lit up. He saw another piece of Dragon Blood Stone. He stepped forward, took out a combat sword and started digging. Clang clang, sparks flew everywhere. However, Lu Ming's current ability was many times stronger than the last time he was here. Very soon, the fist-sized Dragon Blood Stone was dug out and Lu Ming kept it in his storage ring. At this moment, a violent roar rang out. It pierced through gold and cracked stone, shaking the void. Rumble! A gigantic Dracolian beast charged at Lu Ming with murderous intent. You beast again! I'll finish you off this time. Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. Through its life aura, Lu Ming could clearly sense that this dragon lion beast was the one that had chased after him previously. Lu Ming's cultivation was still weak the last time. He was only at the Divine King realm. This time, Lu Ming had recovered to the first-level Divine Lord realm. Lu Ming was enraged at the thought of being chased by this Dracolian beast. Bam! Lu Ming took a step forward and rushed over. With a wave of his hand, the Gate of Domination appeared. The gigantic Gate of Domination smashed down on the Dracolian beast. Although Lu Ming was still under a lot of pressure, it was much less than the previous time he was here. Moreover, Lu Ming, who had recovered to the first-level Divine Lord realm, was not a match for a first-level Divine Lord realm Dracolian beast even if he was under pressure. Bam! The Gate of Domination smashed down on the Dracolian beast's head. The Dracolian beast was smashed to the ground. Blood flowed from its head and it looked at Lu Ming with fear in its eyes. He knew Lu Ming, but he could not figure out how Lu Ming could be so strong in such a short time. Bam! The Gate of Domination exerted more force and killed the Dracolian beast. Roar, roar, roar. At this moment, there were continuous roars coming from other directions. The ground shook and at least 5 or 6 Dracolian beasts appeared and charged at Lu Ming. Looks like there's a small Dracolian beast tribe here. Lu Ming's eyes flashed. He was not afraid at all and met the attack head-on. Soon, the 5 or 6 gigantic Dracolian beasts were all lying on the ground. After killing these Dracolian beasts, Lu Ming searched the area again. Soon he found more than 10 stalks of divine herbs, 2 stalks of Genesis grass, and a piece of Dragon Blood Stone. Lu Ming was overjoyed. These were all good things. Especially the Genesis grass and Dragon Blood Stone. They were simply priceless treasures. After searching the area, Lu Ming continued forward. After walking for a while, he encountered another Dracolian beast. It was not a Dracolian beast but a different kind of Dracolian beast. This time, there was a second-level Divine Lord Dracolian beast. It was very strong. However, even if Lu Ming was suppressed, a second-level Divine Lord was not his match. Especially after he activated the primordial divine blood, it actually had a deterrent effect on these Dracolian beasts. Therefore, Lu Ming easily killed these Dracolian beasts and obtained many treasures. Just like that, Lu Ming continued to explore the area. However, as he continued forward, the Dracolian beasts that appeared were stronger and stronger. Later on, third-level Divine Lord Dracolian beasts began to appear. Under this pressure, Lu Ming wanted to use all his means and strength to kill a third-level Divine Lord Dracolian beast. Just like that, Lu Ming stayed in this Black Dragon Valley for 3 days. Later on, when 4th-level Divine Lord Dracolian beasts began to appear, Lu Ming could only retreat. These resources in my hands right now are enough for me to use for a period of time. Lu Ming revealed a look of joy. This time, he obtained another 200 overstalks of divine medicine. In addition, he obtained 5 stalks of Genesis grass and 6 pieces of dragon blood stone. Among them, there was a piece of dragon blood stone that was fully the size of a wash basin. It was several dozen times larger than the fist-sized dragon blood stone. This was a huge harvest. After Lu Ming withdrew from the Black Dragon Valley and returned to his room, he started cultivating without stopping. First of all, refining the 5-bot Genesis grass, another kind of divine power awakened the origin divine power factor 5 times. This way, Lu Ming had 3 kinds of divine powers and awakened the origin divine power factor 5 times. The 4th kind of divine power was also coming soon. Lu Ming had no choice but to sigh. The Genesis grass really had the miraculous wonder of seizing heaven and earth's good fortune. At the same time, Lu Ming's heart turned cold again. The dragon race's mother planet all had such treasures. And those major races that were equally famous as the dragon race also had planets similar to the dragon race's mother planet. For example, the angel race, the soul race, the Buddhist race, and so on. These terrifying races should also have treasures similar to the Genesis grass, right? Then how terrifying would the geniuses of these races be? Chapter 3606. After refining the 5 tufts of Genesis grass, Lu Ming took out a piece of dragon blood stone and began refining it. The dragon blood turned into surging energy that was absorbed by Lu Ming. The second drop of primordial divine blood also grew stronger. After refining the 5 fist-sized dragon blood stones, Lu Ming's second drop of primordial divine blood had reached perfection. It was the same size as the first drop of primordial divine blood. Like this, Lu Ming now had 2 perfect drops of primordial divine blood. The 2 perfect drops of primordial divine blood constantly emitted an ancient energy that entered Lu Ming's body, subtly strengthening Lu Ming's divine body. If this continued, Lu Ming's divine body would become even stronger. Those fire centipede race actually didn't come. Very good, then I'll continue refining. A wash basin-sized dragon blood stone appeared in Lu Ming's hand. It was dozens of times bigger than the fist-sized dragon blood stone. The energy contained within was extremely rich. Lu Ming didn't hesitate and directly started refining it. It was much more difficult to refine the wash basin-sized dragon blood stone. Lu Ming spent a whole month to refine the wash basin-sized dragon blood stone. Lu Ming obtained 5 complete drops of primordial divine dragon blood. Like this, Lu Ming had condensed a total of 7 drops of primordial divine dragon blood. 7 drops, erupting together. I wonder how strong they will be. Lu Ming's lips curled into a smile. It was time to go to Golden Dragon Ridge. There were so many opportunities in Black Dragon Valley, but what about Golden Dragon Ridge? Lu Ming was looking forward to it. Walking out of his room, Lu Ming didn't inform Pang Zhou and the others. He directly went to Golden Dragon Ridge. Golden Dragon Ridge and the Golden Dragon family were completely occupied by the fire centipede race. There were at least 100 fire centipede race heavenly geniuses, and they were all divine lords. The Golden Dragon family couldn't resist at all and could only be enslaved by the fire centipede race. They became slaves of the fire centipede race, plundering treasures for them. In a mountain range not far from the Golden Dragon family, a group of people from the Golden Dragon family were searching for divine herbs and other treasures. Damn it, these outsiders are too despicable. They really treat us like slaves. Someone roared in anger. That's right, and if we occupy the Golden Dragon Ridge, we won't be able to get any benefits. Our mother planet has finally recovered, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us to make rapid progress. But now, we won't be able to get anything, and we have to hand everything over. How can we make progress? Damned outsiders. They're all demons. The ancient divine dragon clan was destroyed by these people. Many people complained, feeling incomparably angry. However, anger was anger. They didn't dare rebel against the fire centipede race. It wasn't like the golden dragon family didn't resist, but all of them died. Sigh, I heard that a lot of outsiders have come this time. They are everywhere on the mother planet. All the forces, big and small, have been controlled by them, just like us. It's our fault for being weak. Some people sighed. I heard that a peerless expert appeared in the black dragon family and killed the fire centipede race. I wonder if it's true. I heard about it too. The fire centipede race was furious. More than a month ago, they sent 10 experts to the black dragon family to destroy them. However, those 10 experts never returned. Could it be that they were killed? I really hope it's true. Could it be that our dragon clan's mother planet already has such an expert? It's hard to say. I heard that the fire centipede race is furious. Their leader has been in seclusion recently. As soon as he comes out, he will kill his way to the black dragon family. The people of the golden dragon family whispered again. They really hoped that a peerless expert would appear on the dragon clan's mother planet to destroy the outsiders. Look, there's someone there. Suddenly, someone looked at the sky. The other people of the golden dragon family also looked at the sky. In the sky, a young man with his hands behind his back and long hair was flying in the direction of the golden dragon family. This person is going in the direction of the golden dragon family? I haven't seen this person in the fire centipede race. Why is he going to the golden dragon family? Is he an outsider or someone from the dragon clan's mother planet? He's coming from the direction of the black dragon family. Could it be the expert from the black dragon family? Should we go and have a look? Let's go back quietly and have a look. Many people of the golden dragon family talked and showed their interest. Then, they quietly followed Lu Ming and went in the direction of the golden dragon family. Lu Ming naturally noticed the people of the golden dragon family, but he was too lazy to pay attention to them. He walked forward quickly. Soon, a huge building complex appeared in front of Lu Ming. At this moment, in the main hall of the golden dragon family, the experts of the fire centipede race were gathered together. A red-haired young man sat at the top. This person was the most talented and the strongest in this batch of fire centipede race. He was the top genius of the fire centipede race. Now, all of our cultivation has been restored to the peak, and my celestial glutton body has also broken through. The red-haired young man's words caused an uproar. What? Your celestial glutton body has broken through. Many of the fire centipede race's geniuses exclaimed in disbelief. They knew that the red-haired young man's celestial glutton body had reached an important bottleneck. If he broke through again, he would enter a new realm and his combat strength would skyrocket. The red-haired young man's combat strength was already extremely amazing. Now, how strong could he be? That's right. The resources on the dragon family's mother planet are too good. It's better than the cultivation holy land of our fire centipede race. My celestial glutton body has broken through. Now, follow me to the black dragon family. I'd like to see who dares to kill the geniuses of my fire centipede race. The red-haired young man's eyes were cold. More than a month ago, they had sent 10 third-level divine lords to the black dragon family. They did not expect that they would not return. Most likely, they had met with misfortune. During this period, they had not killed their way to the black dragon family for revenge. Firstly, many of them had not recovered to the peak. Secondly, the red-haired young man's celestial glutton body was at the critical point of breaking through. To be able to kill 10 third-level divine lords of the fire centipede race's geniuses, the other party was not weak. All right, let's kill our way to the black dragon family. I'd like to see which force is so bold to go against our fire centipede race. Someone said coldly. They thought that some force had occupied the black dragon family. Crawling insects of the fire centipede race, get out here. It was at this moment that a deafening roar sounded from outside, piercing through metal and shattering stone. The main hall suddenly quieted down. Everyone looked at each other for a while. Many of the fire centipede race's geniuses revealed murderous intent. Which bastard is shouting outside? Courting death. Kill our way out. The geniuses of the fire centipede race shouted angrily. Follow me outside to take a look. the red-haired young man said and strode forward. The others followed behind him and headed outside. Chapter 3607. When the prodigies of the fire centipede race walked out of the hall, they saw a young man standing above the golden dragon family with his hands behind his back. This person was naturally Lu Ming. Alone. The prodigies of the fire centipede race were slightly stunned when they saw that Lu Ming was alone. How dare he come here alone? He really didn't know what was good for him. Lu Ming looked at the prodigies of the fire centipede race with a calm expression and said, "Now, I'll give you a chance. Get lost immediately and leave this place. You can avoid death." Lu Ming's words made the prodigies of the fire centipede race so angry that they laughed. Giving them a chance to get lost would save them from death? Could this person be an idiot? The red-haired young man was more composed. He stared at Lu Ming carefully and asked in a deep voice, "Don't you know who I am? You've been sending people to kill me previously. Have you forgotten so quickly?" Lu Ming said coldly, "You're from the Black Dragon family?" The red-haired young man narrowed his eyes. They were about to kill their way to the Black Dragon family, but they didn't expect that the other party would come first. "That's right," Lu Ming replied. This made the prodigies of the fire centipede race look very cold. Cold killing intent was emitted without concealing it. "Kid, don't hide anymore. Call your companions out. You can't fool us if you want to hide in the dark and ambush us," a prodigy of the fire centipede race said coldly. "Companions?" Lu Ming smiled casually and said, "Don't guess blindly. I don't have any companions. It's just me alone. The one who killed your fire centipede race was also me. I'll give you a chance. Get lost immediately." "You're alone?" The prodigies of the fire centipede race sneered, not believing him at all. No matter how they looked at it, Lu Ming was only a first-level divine lord. A first-level divine lord could kill a third-level divine lord? Moreover, there were 10 of them at once. How was that possible? Did they think that the prodigies of the fire centipede race were all trash? Stand there and let him kill him? Therefore, they didn't believe Lu Ming's words at all. They thought that Lu Ming was up to something and wanted to numb them so that others could launch a sneak attack. "You guys protect me. I'm going to kill this brat and force the others out." One of the fire centipede race's Sky Pride spoke. Then he stepped out and pressed towards Lu Ming. The other members of the fire centipede clan spread out their spiritual senses and shrouded the void. There were even people who flashed and surrounded the nearby area to prevent the hidden people from launching a sneak attack. Seeing the fire centipede race being so cautious, Lu Ming was speechless. He was alone, all right? What's the point of doing so much? Why are there so many scenes? He looked indifferently at the prodigies of the fire centipede race who were closing in on him. "Brat, stop acting all mysterious. Now that the surroundings have been sealed, your people can't save you." The prodigy of the fire centipede race revealed a ferocious look. His entire body was covered in fiery red flames. His palm was like a heavenly blade as he slashed towards Lu Ming. The power was very strong, reaching third-level divine lord. Moreover, he was a prodigy of the powerful fire centipede race. With this palm, not to mention a first-level divine lord, even a second-level divine lord would be killed. The difference between each level of the divine lord realm was no joke. However, Lu Ming's expression was calm. He didn't panic at all as he greeted the attack with a punch. The moment he punched out, Lu Ming had already activated the battle symbol formula to increase his battle strength by 5 times. At the same time, he activated the power of a drop of primordial divine blood. A layer of dragon scales appeared on the surface of his fist. This guy is from the dragon human race, not an outsider. The eyes of many of the fire centipede race flashed. They were very surprised. They originally thought that Lu Ming was the same as them, an outsider race with many experts. They didn't expect that Lu Ming was actually a native of the dragon race's mother planet. He was a dragon human like the people of the golden dragon family. A first-level divine lord realm cultivation, and you dare to take my attack head-on? You're courting death. The youth from the fire centipede race who attacked sneered. His expression was ferocious, as if he had already seen the outcome of Lu Ming being split in half by his blade. Boom! The next moment, Lu Ming's fist and the other party's palm collided. A violent explosion erupted. Then there was the sound of bones breaking. The scene of flesh and blood flying everywhere. A shrill scream sounded. The prodigy of the fire centipede race retreated wildly. One of his palms had already exploded, flesh and blood flying everywhere. He retreated a few thousand meters. His entire body was covered in cold sweat as he looked at Lu Ming in disbelief. In a head-on collision, his palm was actually shattered by Lu Ming's punch. Although he had transformed into human form, his defensive power was still astonishing. He didn't expect such an outcome. The other members of the fire centipede race were also stunned. They were somewhat in disbelief. A first-level Divine Lord Realm person was so strong. Kill! Lu Ming shouted. He stepped on the void and the wind-extinguishing boots appeared. They merged with his feet, making his speed extremely fast. He took a step forward and charged towards the other party. His palm grasped the void and the Tyrant God's spear appeared. Buzz! Lu Ming swung with all his might. A violent force surged into the Tyrant God's spear and then smashed towards the other party. The sky shook. The force was terrifying. Not good. The prodigy of the fire centipede race was shocked. He retreated wildly. In the process of retreating, his body changed rapidly. He turned into a huge fire centipede. The legs around him turned into battle blades that flew out continuously. Clang, clang, clang. Hundreds of battle blades flew out, wanting to block Lu Ming's attack. However, under the pressure of Lu Ming's spear, the battle blades kept exploding. In the end, the Tyrant God's spear bombarded the head of the fire centipede. The upper half of the fire centipede exploded and it died on the spot. It was almost an instant kill in one move. The scene fell into silence. All the members of the fire centipede race were looking at Lu Ming in a daze. Lu Ming's combat strength had really exceeded everyone's expectations. It shocked them. Not far away from the Golden Dragon family, many of them were watching from afar. Although they were some distance away, they still saw what had just happened clearly. At this moment, they were also dumbfounded. Dragonians, it's Dragonians. He's from the dragon race's mother planet. He's one of us. Haha, I didn't expect our dragon race's mother planet to have given birth to such a strong existence. He killed the fire centipede race in one move. This is great. Too powerful. Legend has it that the divine dragon race on our dragon race's mother planet is a great existence in the entire world. What's the big deal about having some peerless experts? The members of the Golden Dragon family were ecstatic. They desperately hoped that Lu Ming could kill the fire centipede race and save them from this disaster. This kid is evil. Let's attack together. That's right. Let's attack together and destroy him. Many prodigies of the fire centipede race spoke. Their auras constantly erupted and gathered together to suppress Lu Ming. Chapter 3608. Now, the fire centipede race's prodigies no longer dared to underestimate Lu Ming. One move killed a third-level Divine Lord prodigy. This kind of combat strength was simply inconceivable. Now, they believed that Lu Ming really came alone. The 10 prodigies who went to the Black Dragon family previously might really have been killed by Lu Ming. If you don't scram now, then you won't have the chance anymore. Lu Ming said coldly, killing intent erupting. He had already given them a chance. Since they did not cherish it, then don't blame him for being ruthless. Boom. Lu Ming was very decisive and directly attacked. The Overlord God's spear trembled, stimulating the power to sever shackles. Over 100 spear lights erupted, killing towards all the fire centipede race's prodigies. Erupting over 100 spear lights at once, the power was scattered. It was naturally impossible to kill them. However, he did not need to kill them. He just needed to block these fire centipede race's prodigies. As for Lu Ming, he held the Overlord God's spear and charged towards 2 of the fire centipede race's prodigies. Not good. Seeing Lu Ming charge over, the 2 fire centipede race's prodigies' expressions changed drastically. They both reverted to their true forms and released resplendent saber lights, slashing towards Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming's strength was astonishing. He brandished the Overlord God's spear, breaking apart the saber lights. The spear pierced through the void, killing one of the fire centipede in the air. "Save me!" The other fire centipede was shocked and frantically retreated. "Kid, you dare?" Kill. Several fire centipede race's prodigies shouted and charged towards Lu Ming. The terrifying saber lights seemed to be able to destroy everything. Someone who severed their shackles? Lu Ming muttered. These fire centipede race's prodigies had astonishing strength. Their source secret technique had actually severed their shackles. It was rare for Lu Ming to encounter such a prodigy. However, this was also normal. The powerful races ranked on the primordial 10,000 races all had great talent. It was normal for them to sever their shackles at the third-level Divine Lord realm. Although these few people's combat strength was similarly third-level Divine Lord, they were a magnitude stronger than the other fire centipede race's prodigies. The other fire centipede race's prodigies were blocked by the spear light that Lu Ming blasted out. But after they erupted with their full strength, they broke through Lu Ming's spear light all at once, charging in front of Lu Ming. Lu Ming could only turn around and fight these people. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming shook his spear. The spear light soared into the sky and collided with the saber light. A violent roar resounded, and the spear light and the blade light both disappeared. Kill! Kill! The top prodigies of the fire centipede race shouted. Their huge bodies were like terrifying battle sabers. They became one with their sabers and slashed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. These few people were indeed very strong. They had divine power of origin factors and had also undergone 5 awakenings. In addition, their physical talents were strong, they had severed their shackles, and they were third-level divine lords. Their strength was extremely terrifying. They were far from what the people of the Sacred Fire Saber sect could compare to. Although they were at the same level, their combat strength was worlds apart. Lu Ming had to be cautious. Boom! Lu Ming erupted with his full strength. He already had 3 types of divine power that had undergone 5 awakenings. He had also pushed them to the limit. At the same time, Lu Ming had the Bell of Evil, the Gate of Domination, and the Shield of Tianxian on his body. In an instant, 7 or 8 types of secret techniques of origin appeared. Each of them had severed their shackles. The fire centipede race's prodigies were almost stunned. Their eyeballs were about to pop out. One person had actually mastered so many secret techniques of origin and severed their shackles. What kind of monster was this? Ding, ding, ding. The Bell of Evil let out a crisp sound that shook the souls of the fire centipede race's prodigies. Although the prodigies of the fire centipede race all had treasures to defend their souls, they were still somewhat affected by the attack of the Bell of Evil. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Lu Ming controlled the Gate of Domination to suppress one of the top prodigies. Then, the void-shattering sword, sky demon blade, and other secret techniques of origin also blasted towards this person. Although this fire centipede was extremely powerful, it was forced to retreat after being attacked by so many secret techniques of origin. Wounds appeared on its hard carapace and blood flowed out. Kill! Finally, Lu Ming launched a fatal blow with the Overlord God's spear in his hand. The Overlord God's spear pierced the person's eye socket. Violent energy surged in and then exploded. The fire centipede let out an unwilling roar as its soul was destroyed. A top prodigy of the fire centipede race had been killed by Lu Ming. All this happened in the blink of an eye. Just now, Lu Ming had activated the Bell of Evil and stunned all the prodigies of the fire centipede race. Lu Ming took advantage of this opportunity to launch an attack. It was too late for the others to help. By the time they launched their attacks, Lu Ming had already killed his opponent. His figure flashed and he dodged the attacks of the fire centipede race. Damn it, this kid is an ancient cultivator and he can also attack souls. Be careful of his soul attacks. We will attack from the front. You guys attack from the side. Kill him. The fire centipede race roared. The strongest prodigies launched a storm of attacks on Lu Ming. The ordinary prodigies launched attacks from all directions. Countless saber lights slashed towards Lu Ming. They wanted to drown Lu Ming in the endless saber lights and chop him into minced meat. Lu Ming's figure flashed continuously. He dodged these attacks and seized the opportunity to counterattack. However, at this moment, Lu Ming suddenly felt a sense of danger coming from the side toward Lu Ming. Swoosh! From the side, a fiery red saber light slashed towards Lu Ming. It was a fiery red fire centipede. It was one with the saber and its entire body turned into a saber. It was extremely terrifying. This fire centipede's attack was a great threat to Lu Ming. It was more powerful than the strongest prodigies of the fire centipede race. I didn't expect the fire centipede race to have such a person. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. This was obviously a terrifying prodigy of the fire centipede race. He had not attacked before because he was waiting for an opportunity. Once the opportunity came, he attacked directly. He attacked Lu Ming from the side. It was very insidious. With such strength, to launch an ambush, an ordinary person would have been killed by the other party. However, Lu Ming's strength was not limited to this. With a thought, the heavenly dark shield blocked his side. At the same time, the 7 drops of primordial divine blood in Lu Ming's heart were all activated. At this moment, there seemed to be a violent dragon roar coming from Lu Ming's body. It was as if the primordial divine dragon had awakened. In an instant, Lu Ming's body was filled with violent power. Clang! The opponent's attack bombarded the heavenly dark shield. The heavenly dark shield vibrated non-stop. A crack even appeared on it and it was directly sent flying. From this, it could be seen how powerful the opponent's attack was. The attacker was the red-haired youth from the fire centipede race. After breaking the heavenly dark shield with one attack, the red-haired youth did not stop and continued to attack Lu Ming. However, what greeted him was the Overlord God Spear. Boom! Lu Ming waved the Overlord God Spear and collided with the saber formed by the red-haired youth. The area was filled with violent force, forming a layer of impact that swept in all directions. Chapter 3609. The energy surged wildly, and the incoming saber lights were scattered by the impact of the shockwave. In the next moment, a huge body retreated. It was the red-haired youth. The red-haired youth's eyes were filled with disbelief. He felt excruciating pain all over his body and he almost exploded. How could this be? He couldn't believe it. His own strength was extremely strong. His origin divine power had awakened 5 times, and his origin's secret technique had severed the shackles. Not only that, his celestial whole body had just broken through, and his strength was a notch stronger than the other powerful fire centipedes. He had launched a sneak attack. Not only had Lu Ming blocked his full force attack, but he had also been sent flying by Lu Ming's spear. His body had almost exploded. The power contained in Lu Ming's earlier attack had left him in shock and fear. He never would have dreamed that a first-level Divine Lord person could actually contain such horrifying power. Run! A word flashed through the red-haired youth's mind. He had never thought that he would have such a thought when facing a Divine Lord first-level person. But now he really wanted to run. But Lu Ming wouldn't give him such a chance. Kill! Lu Ming roared. He felt like he was filled with endless power. He held the Tyrant God Spear in one hand and the Gate of Dominion in the other as he charged at the red-haired youth. The primordial divine blood erupted. The power of Lu Ming's divine body was indeed astonishingly powerful. But his other origin's secret techniques hadn't been enhanced. Only when Lu Ming held them in his hands could they be enhanced and explode with shocking power. Boom! The Gate of Dominion and the Tyrant God Spear became huge and completely enveloped the red-haired youth. The red-haired youth couldn't dodge and could only take it head-on. Attack together, and kill this person. The red-haired youth roared and exploded with all his strength. His divine power burned as he went all out. His body seemed to have transformed into a flaming saber, slashing the heavens and charging toward Lu Ming. The other fire centipedes also charged at Lu Ming. Boom! Lu Ming used the Gate of Sovereigns to exchange a blow with the red-haired youth. Lu Ming grabbed the Sovereign's Gate and waved it around. Its power was shocking, and it sent the red-haired youth flying. Then, the Tyrant God Spear in his right hand swept out with a force that could sweep away 1,000 armies. Bang! Another top prodigy of the fire centipede race was struck by Lu Ming and exploded. At this moment, Lu Ming went all out. 7 drops of primordial divine blood and various kinds of divine power erupted. His battle prowess had reached an unimaginable level. Even the top prodigies of the fire centipede race found it hard to resist. One of them was killed instantly. Not only that, but 5 or 6 ordinary fire centipede race prodigies were also killed by the remaining power. Evildoer, retreat, retreat. This time, the fire centipede race's heaven's prides were truly afraid. They sucked in a breath of cold air and frantically retreated, no longer daring to fight Lu Ming. In their eyes, Lu Ming was simply a demon. Kill! As the fire centipede race retreated, Lu Ming focused on killing the red-haired youth. There were 2 consecutive booms and the red-haired youth screamed. A section of his body had exploded and flesh and blood flew everywhere. It was a tragic sight. Although he had avoided being hit in the vital parts, the red-haired youth was still severely injured. It had to be said that the red-haired youth was really strong. In a battle of the same level, among all the prodigies that Lu Ming had encountered, he was second only to Di Jianyi and Murong Qiushui. After a few consecutive moves, he still couldn't kill the red-haired youth. However, the red-haired youth was almost scared to death. Where did this freak come from? How could there be such a powerful freak on the dragon race's mother planet? At this moment, he finally understood how powerful the dragon race was. Back then, the dragon race was ranked in the top 5 of the primitive 10,000 races board. It was far from what the fire centipede race could compare to. Although such a race was extinct, it was possible that some terrifying prodigies were born from their bloodline. At this moment, he regretted coming here for the first time. He shouldn't have come to the dragon race's mother planet. Let's attack together, let's attack together. The red-haired youth wasn't willing to be killed just like that. He roared wildly, wanting to call the other fire centipede race members to attack. That way, he might be able to find a chance to survive. However, those fire centipede race members were already scared and didn't dare to attack. Not only did they not approach, they retreated even further. No one can save you. Lu Ming coldly shouted and launched a storm of attacks. You can't kill me. I'm the fire centipede race's peerless prodigy. My grandfather is the fire centipede race's great elder. The 10,000 dragon seals on your dragon race's mother planet will weaken sooner or later. If you kill me, my grandfather won't let you go. My fire centipede race won't let you go. The red-haired youth roared and made a final struggle. However, Lu Ming wasn't moved at all. His attacks were still wild. The tyrant god's spear and the god's gate continued to attack. In the end, with a bang, the red-haired youth couldn't resist anymore. His body exploded in the air and his soul was destroyed. Run! The remaining fire centipede race members roared and frantically fled in all directions. Lu Ming didn't chase after them. There were too many people on the other side. There were nearly 100 of them fleeing in all directions. Even if he wanted to chase after them, he couldn't kill them all. At most, he could only chase after some of them. Therefore, Lu Ming couldn't be bothered to waste his energy. After the battle just now, he believed that the fire centipede race wouldn't dare to stay in this area. They would most likely run far away. His goal this time was the Golden Dragon Ridge. At this moment, the people from the Golden Dragon family surrounding them were all dumbstruck. One by one, they were tongue-tied and stunned. In the end, they looked at each other and saw shock and ecstasy in each other's eyes. The fire centipede race had been defeated and fled. Moreover, Lu Ming was actually a dragon human. They were saved. Strong, too strong. Our dragon human race actually has such an expert. Too strong, really too strong. Our dragon human race finally doesn't have to be afraid of outsiders. Ha! Many of the Golden Dragon family members were trembling with excitement. Previously, they couldn't resist the outsiders at all. They were all divine lords. They heard that the strongest on the dragon race's mother planet was only a peak divine king. This made them despair. Now, it seemed that there was someone on the dragon race's mother planet who had reached the divine lord realm. With such powerful strength, they could resist the outsiders. How could they not be excited? You're from the Golden Dragon family? Lu Ming stood in the air and glanced at the Golden Dragon family members. Quick, the Lord asked us something. Let's go. Let's go in reply. The Golden Dragon family members hurriedly flew toward Lu Ming with a respectful attitude. In their eyes, Lu Ming was most likely the most powerful person in the Dragon-Human clan. Naturally, they would be respectful to him. Chapter 36:10. There were at least 1,000 members of the Golden Dragon family standing respectfully around Lu Ming. Sir, we are from the Golden Dragon family. Thank you for your help this time. Otherwise, we would have been enslaved by the outsiders for a long time. Thank you for your help, sir. The members of the Golden Dragon family bowed respectfully. It's nothing. I heard that the Golden Dragon family has a relic called the Golden Dragon Ridge. Can you take me there? Lu Ming went straight to the point and stated his intention. Of course. An old man stepped out from the Golden Dragon family and agreed without hesitation. Although the Golden Dragon Ridge was a relic left behind by the Golden Dragon family patriarch, it contained great opportunities and many divine herbs. However, it had been occupied by the Fire Centipede race and they had obtained many divine herbs. Moreover, they believed that Lu Ming was from the Dragonborn race and his strength was amazing. So many experts from the Fire Centipede race were defeated by Lu Ming. Now that Lu Ming wanted to enter the Golden Dragon Ridge, how could they dare to refuse? How do I enter the Golden Dragon Ridge? What do I need? Lu Ming asked. You can enter directly. There are no restrictions. The old man from the Golden Dragon family said. Lu Ming was surprised. He had thought that the Golden Dragon Ridge, like the Black Dragon Valley, would require something like the Black Dragon token to open the restriction before one could enter. It seemed that not all the relics on the Dragon Clan's mother planet required a token to enter. Not all ruins had prohibitions or something like that. After asking, Lu Ming found out the location of the Golden Dragon Ridge. It was deep in the mountains of the Golden Dragon family. By the way, I need the help of the Golden Dragon family, Lu Ming said. He then took out the portraits of Autumn Moon and Xian Yanqing and asked the Golden Dragon family to help him find them. The Golden Dragon family naturally nodded and bowed. Then, Lu Ming went deep into the Golden Dragon family. There was a small mountain in the depths of a large building. Is this the Golden Dragon Ridge? It's so small? Is it the space folding technology? Lu Ming muttered curiously. Then he took a step forward and walked forward. The difference of a single step was so close yet worlds apart. In the next moment, the surrounding scenery rapidly changed. The small mountain ridge in front of Lu Ming rapidly expanded, turning into a boundless mountain ridge. It looked vast and majestic. The extremely dense divine qi drifted in the air. Just by taking a breath, one would feel refreshed. It is indeed the space folding technique. It looks small on the outside, but it contains a large amount of space. The density of the divine qi is no less than that of the Black Dragon Valley. Lu Ming thought for a while and then revealed a look of joy. In the Black Dragon Valley, there were large amounts of divine herbs. Furthermore, he had found the Life Genesis grass and the Dragon Blood Stone. What could be here? Lu Ming was looking forward to it. Lu Ming didn't stop and started to search this area. Unfortunately, although the divine qi here was extremely dense, he didn't find anything. He didn't see any traces of divine medicine. Lu Ming knew that this was the periphery of the Golden Dragon Ridge. It was likely that the Fire Centipede race had plundered everything. It would be strange if they could find any divine medicine. The Fire Centipede race has been here for so many days. I wonder what they have found. Let me see. Lu Ming's heart stirred and a few storage rings appeared in his hands. These storage rings were obtained from the Fire Centipede race's sky prides that he had killed. The storage ring of the strongest red-haired young man was also in his hands. However, Lu Ming was soon disappointed. In the storage rings, apart from some ordinary divine crystals, divine qi, materials for refining equipment, and elixirs, he didn't see any outstanding divine medicine, let alone treasures like the Life Genesis grass. Lu Ming shook his head and smiled. The Fire Centipede race must have refined these treasures. With more than 100 Fire Centipede race occupying this place, there might not be enough treasures to go around. I'd better look for them myself. There are probably more treasures in the depths of the Golden Dragon Ridge. Lu Ming smiled and headed towards the depths of the Golden Dragon Ridge. The Golden Dragon Ridge was similar to the Black Dragon Valley in that there were many dragon beasts. However, the dragon beasts outside the Golden Dragon Ridge weren't very strong and were easily killed by Lu Ming. Lu Ming increased his speed and headed deeper. It was very similar to the Black Dragon Valley. The deeper he went, the stronger the dragon beasts were. Furthermore, Lu Ming was suppressed by a powerful pressure, making it difficult for him to unleash his full strength. Very soon, Lu Ming crossed the 7th mountain ridge and entered the 8th mountain ridge. The roars of desolate beasts were like thunder. A powerful desolate beast that was 10 meters tall and dozens of meters long pounced at Lu Ming like a fierce tiger. Strong gales surged and energy surged. It was extremely powerful. This was a 3rd-level Divine Lord Desolate Beast. Lu Ming activated the battle character art to increase his battle strength by 5 times. He circulated his divine power at full strength and held the Tyrant God Spear in his hand. He activated all the power within the Tyrant God Spear and stabbed out. This spear's power was extremely strong. Currently, Lu Ming already had 3 kinds of divine powers awakened 5 times. Erupting at full power, 11 kinds of divine powers twisted into one, the power becoming stronger and stronger. The spear light swept through like a hot knife through butter, directly killing this dragon beast. Even under the situation of being suppressed, ordinary 3rd-level Divine Lord Desolate Beasts were also not Lu Ming's match. After killing this dragon beast, Lu Ming continued forward. Following that, he killed a 3rd-level Divine Lord Desolate Beast. Lu Ming finally had a discovery. He discovered 2 stalks of divine medicines with extremely thick life force. Lu Ming revealed a look of joy. It seemed like this place already reached the limits of the Fire Centipede clan's exploration. Made sense, this was the 8th mountain ridge. The dragon beasts that lived on it were virtually all 3rd-level Divine Lords. Actually, on the 7th mountain ridge, there were already many 3rd-level Divine Lord Desolate Beasts. Although the Fire Centipede clan's numbers were large, they were greatly suppressed here. Wanting to kill the coarse skin and thick flesh of the dragon beasts was not that easy. Furthermore, many of the Fire Centipede clan's people had just recovered to 3rd-level Divine Lord Cultivation not long ago. Therefore, they did not explore too far. At most, they only stepped foot onto the 8th mountain ridge. Therefore, Lu Ming's harvest started. Following Lu Ming's exploration, stalks of divine medicines were discovered by Lu Ming and entered into Lu Ming's storage ring. Not long after, Lu Ming obtained more than a dozen stalks of divine medicines. But unfortunately, treasures like the life source grass and dragon bloodstone, Lu Ming did not see any. Lu Ming was unresigned and continued searching. The Golden Dragon Ridge was seriously too big. Just one mountain ridge, the range was very vast. Searching for a while, he found some divine medicines again. Roar! At this time, another roar sounded out. An enormous dragon beast rushed toward Lu Ming. This dragon beast was covered all over in dragon scales, but it had a pair of wings. When the wings spread out, it was several hundred meters long. With a roar, its aura pierced through the sky. 4th-level Divine Lord. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed slightly. This dragon beast's cultivation reached 4th-level Divine Lord. It was incomparably powerful. If it were outside, 4th-level Divine Lords were also not Lu Ming's match and could be killed at will. But in this place, Lu Ming was greatly suppressed and found it hard to unleash all of his strength. Chapter 36:11. Swoosh! The flying dragon beast flapped its wings, triggering a series of wind blades. Like blades, they enveloped Lu Ming, the power extremely astonishing. Lu Ming's mind stirred, the wind-extinguishing boots appeared, making his speed increase explosively. His figure moved, akin to a series of phantoms, avoiding the assault of the wind blades. Closing in on the flying dragon beast, a spear pierced toward the flying dragon beast's head. But the flying dragon beast reacted very quickly. Flapping its wings, it swept the Overlord God's spear like a divine blade. Bang! An intense rumble, force overflowed. The Overlord God's spear trembled endlessly. Lu Ming's figure drifted backward. What powerful strength, one level higher Divine Lord Realm Cultivation. The difference in strength is indeed heaven and earth. Looks like I have to go all out. Lu Ming's thoughts revolved rapidly. The 7 drops of primeval divine blood in his body erupted with a loud bang. In an instant, Lu Ming was filled with explosive power. In the past, Lu Ming was just a drop of primeval divine blood. When it was stimulated, it already made his strength increase explosively, let alone now that he possessed 7 drops of primeval divine blood. The powerful strength made Lu Ming roar as if he was going to break out of his body. Kill! Lu Ming gave a long howl, the Overlord God's spear sweeping out once more, colliding with the flying dragon beast. This time, one of the flying dragon beast's wings directly exploded, flesh and blood flying everywhere. When Lu Ming stimulated 7 drops of primeval divine blood, his power already crushed the flying dragon beast. The flying dragon beast retreated explosively. Lu Ming followed, spear shadows like a dragon, sweeping out continuously. After several consecutive spears, the flying dragon beast suffered heavy injuries. Then, it had its head pierced by Lu Ming's spear, killing it on the spot. If outside, under the situation where I'm not suppressed, I can kill ordinary 5th-level Divine Lords. Lu Ming summarized his combat strength. In the Divine Lord realm, to be able to kill a 5th-level Divine Lord with a 1st-level Divine Lord, this kind of combat strength was simply unheard of. Of course, this was referring to ordinary Divine Lords, not including the various races Heaven's chosen characters. For example, almost all those who entered the Dragon Clan's mother planet this time were prodigies. There were even more terrifying characters in those powerful races. For example, there was the red-haired youth in the Fire Centipede race. Faced with such a prodigy, Lu Ming naturally couldn't fight across so many levels. After killing the flying draconic beast, all the draconic beasts in the nearby area were swept clean. Lu Ming began to search with peace of mind. That is, not long after, Lu Ming made a discovery. A huge metal rod was inserted into the ground. It was dozens of meters long. Dragon horn. Lu Ming could tell at a glance that it was a dragon horn that was constantly emitting dragon might. What was special was that this dragon horn was made of metal. Its tail was smooth as if it had been chopped off from the divine dragon's head. Golden Dragon Ridge? Could it be the horn of a metal dragon? Lu Ming muttered. The Divine Dragon clan was divided into many branches, and there were all kinds of divine dragons. For example, Black Dragon, White Dragon, Silver Dragon, Golden Dragon, Blood Dragon, Demonic Dragon, Water Dragon, Wind Dragon, Fire Dragon, Metal Dragon, etc. Among them, the Metal Dragon could be classified as a type of metallic life form. Its entire body was made of metal, similar to Qiuqiu. This dragon horn was completely made of metal, and it was very likely to be the dragon horn of a metal dragon. Moreover, after so many years, it still contained a strong dragon might. The owner of this dragon horn was no small matter. This dragon horn is mine. On Lu Ming's wrist, Qiuqiu had long been restless. At this moment, it rushed out and turned into a huge metal ball. Like a liquid, it wrapped around the metal dragon horn. This guy. Lu Ming smiled, but he was looking forward to it. Qiuqiu's physique was very special. He didn't know what he would gain after refining this dragon horn. During this period of time, under Lu Ming's observation of the divine artifacts supply, his progress was very fast. Now, he had reached the 2nd-level Divine Lord realm. However, when they entered the dragon race's mother planet, Qiuqiu had also suffered heavy injuries along with Lu Ming. It had only recovered during this period of time. When it was a heavenly god and divine king, Qiuqiu's strength was not bad. It could fight across realms and was equivalent to the geniuses of other races. But at the Divine Lord realm, Qiuqiu was already somewhat unable to keep up. In the primordial god spirit world, Qiuqiu had swallowed a broken sword. If it transformed into that broken sword, its combat power would be very strong and it would be able to fight against a 3rd-level Divine Lord. Even so, it would not be of much help to Lu Ming. However, with this dragon horn, Lu Ming was still looking forward to it. Qiuqiu wrapped around the dragon horn like a pool of liquid, constantly wriggling. As Qiu wriggled, its body slowly shrank. Of course, that dragon horn also shrank. In the end, Qiu returned to its normal size. That dragon horn naturally entered Qiu's stomach. Lu Ming, I'm full. I want to refine it. Qiu mumbled a few times, turned into a bracelet once more, and wore it on Lu Ming's hand. Lu Ming smiled. Although he did not have any great gains on this trip yet, Qiu obtaining a dragon horn was also considered not a wasted trip. Lu Ming's figure flashed, continuing to search. Finishing searching this area, Lu Ming obtained some divine medicines again. Then he continued heading towards the depths of the Golden Dragon Ridge. Continuing forward, he would definitely have to face the challenge of dragon beasts. The following 2 days, Lu Ming explored the Golden Dragon Ridge, fighting with dragon beasts. 2 days' time, a total of 8 4th-level Divine Lord Dragon Beasts died at his hands. Of course, if he ran into 5th-level Divine Lord Dragon Beasts, Lu Ming would run away. In this place, Lu Ming was greatly suppressed. Encountering 5th-level Divine Lord Dragon Beasts, he was definitely not a match. These 2 days, Lu Ming also had considerable gains. Especially among them, there were 3 heavenly source fruits that made Lu Ming beam from ear to ear. Heavenly source fruits were the same as life source grass, also a kind of peerless treasure, a priceless treasure. However, the effects of heavenly source fruits and life source grass were different. Life source grass could help cultivate source divine power factors, while heavenly source fruits could help cultivate source secret arts. It was extremely helpful towards severing the shackles of source secret arts. Lu Ming had a smile all over his face. This was a great gain. What made Lu Ming feel regretful was that he did not find dragon bloodstones here. 2 days later, Lu Ming withdrew from the Golden Dragon Ridge. Because if he continued forward, the pressure would become greater and greater, and the dragon beasts would become stronger and stronger. He could casually run into 5th-level Divine Lord Dragon Beasts. With Lu Ming's current cultivation, it was very hard to continue charging. Lu Ming planned on withdrawing and properly digesting the gains he obtained during this period of time, increasing his strength a little. Withdrawing from the Golden Dragon Ridge and giving instructions to the Golden Dragon Family Clan's members, Lu Ming returned to the Black Dragon Family Clan. Thinking about it, he took out the Dream Divine Jade to see what news there was inside. The moment he took a look, he jumped in fright. The public area already exploded. The reason was because the Fire Centipede race's people released an image. Lu Ming took a look. It was precisely the image of him rushing to the Golden Dragon Family Clan and killing the Fire Centipede race. The Fire Centipede race's people complained tearfully, saying that the Dragon race's homeworld's natives were too arrogant, calling for the various races outside to join forces to kill Lu Ming. The moment the news came out, many people appeared in the public area, clamoring. Chapter 36:12. Before this, Lu Ming had seen that the public area of the Dream Divine Jade was very quiet. No one was talking. However, when the Fire Centipede race released the video, it immediately caused an uproar. There's actually such a strong local? This person's combat strength is very strong. He can't be underestimated. It seems that we've underestimated the local. We have to be careful in the future. A local dares to be arrogant. I suggest that the people nearby join forces to kill this person. That's right. I also suggest that the Fire Centipede race release the specific location. The experts of the surrounding races will go and kill this person. This will completely disappoint the local. The public area was in an uproar. Most people said that they wanted to join forces to kill Lu Ming. They would not allow a local to be so arrogant and powerful. They wanted to strangle him in the cradle. Ehehe. Lu Ming almost cursed when he saw this. Wasn't he just pretending to be a local? It actually attracted so many people to suppress him. Then, the Fire Centipede race released the specific location in the public area. Then, a group of people began to discuss how to kill Lu Ming. Of course, they did not hide anything. They made all kinds of suggestions. They did not expect that Lu Ming would see all of this. In their minds, Lu Ming was a local. It was impossible for him to have a treasure like the Dream Divine Jade. Lu Ming definitely did not know what they said. They did not know that Lu Ming had seen all of this. The winged men did not expose me? Lu Ming muttered to himself. The Fire Centipede race had released a video. It should have been recorded by a Fire Centipede race's genius with the Dream Divine Jade during his battle. Logically speaking, the members of the Winged Men clan should have seen Lu Ming before. As long as the elites of the Winged Men clan saw him, they would definitely be able to recognize Lu Ming and know that he was not a local. However, none of the Winged Men jumped out to say it. They're trying to kill me with a borrowed knife. Lu Ming thought for a moment and sneered. He quickly understood the Winged Men's idea. If he were to reveal that Lu Ming was not a local, but an outsider, he was afraid that many people would not attack Lu Ming. After all, there were countless clans and forces in the outside world. It was normal for these clans and forces to fight and kill each other. Lu Ming had killed a member of the Fire Centipede race, so why would the others attack Lu Ming and help the Fire Centipede race? Perhaps there would be many people who would rejoice in his misfortune. But Lu Ming was a local, so things were different. If the natives were so strong, how were they going to suppress the natives and make them work for them? If the other natives knew that there was such a strong person among them, would their morale be boosted and they would rebel against them? That was why they had joined forces to kill Lu Ming. Humph! I, Lu Ming, have nothing to fear. Come, I'll kill whoever comes. Lu Ming sneered, then continued to browse the public area, wanting to get more information. Suddenly, another message caused an uproar. Another clan posted a video. Like the Fire Centipede race, this video was also an image of a local killing a foreign prodigy. Lu Ming took a look. In the video, a divine dragon with 8 dragon claws on its abdomen was roaring at the sky. It tore apart more than a dozen foreign prodigies in a row, and many of them fled in a sorry state. An 8-clawed divine dragon. That was a pure 8-clawed divine dragon. The public area was in an uproar again. There was actually a pure divine dragon on the dragon race's mother planet, and it was an 8-clawed divine dragon. Although there were still many divine dragons living in various parts of the primitive universe, many powerful forces kept many divine dragons as mounts and enslaved them. Even the Taishu Sacred Emperor kept some divine dragons as tools to pull his chariot. However, most of them were 5-clawed divine dragons, 6-clawed divine dragons, and at most 7-clawed divine dragons. As for 8-clawed divine dragons, they were extremely rare. There were very few 8-clawed divine dragons in the primitive universe now. In the divine dragon race, 8-clawed divine dragons were the top prodigies. Any 8-clawed divine dragon had great talent and endless potential. Of course, there was a 9-clawed dragon above the 8-clawed divine dragon. However, a 9-clawed dragon was even rarer. It could even be said to be extremely rare. 9-clawed dragon was almost extinct in the primitive universe now. Even dozens of stellar years ago, during the heyday of the divine dragon race, 9-clawed dragon was extremely rare. Every appearance of a 9-clawed dragon would excite the divine dragon race because it represented talent. A 9-clawed dragon was a peerless prodigy of the dragon race. Its talent and potential were endless. As long as it grew up, it would definitely become an unparalleled expert. The public area was in an uproar. Many people began to talk about this 8-clawed divine dragon again. This reduced the number of people who were targeting Lu Ming. Many people suggested that they join forces to kill this 8-clawed divine dragon. Some even said that they wanted to subdue this 8-clawed divine dragon and make it their mount. The public area was getting more and more lively. Many people came out to talk. Well, after coming to the dragon race's mother planet for a while, most of them had recovered from their injuries. With their injuries healed, they were more confident. They were not like before, afraid of being targeted by others. As the crowd chatted, suddenly, someone played a video that caused an explosion. In the video, a person wearing a flaming armor with divine dragons coiled around the armor held a dragon sword in his hand. He stepped on the void. There were at least a few hundred 9-clawed dragons floating around him. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws as they fought with a group of outsiders. He was very powerful. Within a few breaths, he had killed more than a dozen outsiders. Another local prodigy of the dragon race's mother planet. Everyone could tell at a glance that this person was from the dragon human race, a native of the dragon race's mother planet. Sure enough, Someone said that they had met this person on the Dragon Spirit continent. He was a local dragon person and was extremely powerful. Divine Dragon Aspect Art. What caught Lu Ming's attention was that the secret technique used by the Dragon Human Aspect Art was the Divine Dragon Aspect Art. Those few hundred nine-clawed dragons were the Divine Dragon Aspect Art condensed from the Divine Dragon Aspect Art. It seems that the dragon race's mother planet is not simple. Lu Ming whispered. He was a fake and not a native of the dragon race's mother planet. However, the eight-clawed divine dragon and the young man in the flaming dragon armor were most likely natives. Feng Zhou previously said that the strongest native of the dragon race's mother planet was only a peak divine king. Now, it seemed that was not correct. What Feng Zhou saw was only the surface. The dragon race's mother planet was not simple. However, this was good too. It could take a lot of Lu Ming's firepower. In the public area, there was a lot of discussion about how to kill Lu Ming, the eight-clawed divine dragon, and the others. After watching for a while, Lu Ming kept the illusory heavenly jade. It seems that these people will come to me sooner or later. I have to raise my cultivation as soon as possible. Also, get the people from the Black Dragon family to leave first so that they won't be in trouble. Lu Ming thought. Chapter 36:13. Lu Ming was very powerful. He could defeat more than 100 members of the Fire Centipede clan and kill many experts. However, the Fire Centipede race was only ranked in the top 10,000 on the Wilderness 10,000 races list. There were many races stronger than the Fire Centipede race. Those stronger races might have terrifying heaven's prides. On the dragon race's mother planet, there were heaven-defying treasures like the Genesis grass and the heavenly source fruit. How could those major races not have similar treasures? Those heaven's prides of those major races had powerful bloodline talents. With similar treasures, origin divine force, and origin secret arts, how could they be weak? Some of them might be very terrifying. Lu Ming had to be careful. He couldn't be careless. Immediately, Lu Ming went to Pang Zhou and told him that he had recently discovered many outsiders spying on them. He was afraid that they would be unfavorable to them. He asked Pang Zhou to lead the Black Dragon family members away from the Black Dragon family temporarily. He would guard the Black Dragon family alone. Pang Zhou and the others were shocked. They could only follow Lu Ming's method and let the Black Dragon family members leave temporarily. This way, they could also inquire about some information. Not long after, the Black Dragon family was empty. There was not a single person. Lu Ming sat cross-legged in a courtyard of the Black Dragon family. With a wave of his hand, at least a few hundred divine herbs floated in the air. "Old Liang, I'll leave them to you." Lu Ming transmitted his voice to the measuring word formula. He planned to let the measuring word formula refine these divine herbs to help him break through to the next realm. Previously, Lu Ming needed to directly absorb the life energy of these divine herbs to heal his injuries. This was more effective. However, after the measuring word formula refined them, they would turn into pure energy, and the life energy inside would be insufficient. Therefore, Lu Ming did not let the measuring word formula refine the divine herbs. But now, Lu Ming planned to use these divine herbs to break through to the next realm. Letting the measuring word formula refine them was the most suitable. Don't worry, these divine herbs are very pure and easy to refine. Leave them to me. The voice of the quantifying character formula rang out, and then a suction force burst out, sucking in the divine medicine and beginning to refine it. As expected, it didn't take long for pure energy to flow into Lu Ming. Lu Ming circulated the Cosmos Myriad Daos incantation, and the 11 types of God power and star cores in his body began to absorb the energy and convert it into God power. In his dantian, the 11 stellar cores were shining brightly, and the stellar ring around them was becoming more and more resplendent. In Lu Ming's body, the godly power was also growing stronger and stronger. As he cultivated, he split a portion of his attention to observe his surroundings while waiting. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Soon, 15 days had passed. 15 days later, Lu Ming's heart stirred slightly. He sensed something flickering in the distance. There was someone there. However, they were very far apart. Indeed, 2 young figures had appeared in the distant space, and they were sizing up Lu Ming from afar. "It's that kid. He seems to be cultivating." One of the young men said. "Should we make a move?" The other young man said, "Don't be anxious. We can see from the image that this kid is very strong." More than 100 fire centipedes were forced to retreat. "We can't underestimate him. Let's wait for the others to arrive first." The young man at the beginning said, and he was more steady. "He only defeated some fire centipedes. How strong can he be?" The young man at the back sneered, as if he was disdainful of the fire centipedes. However, he didn't act rashly and didn't make a move. They retreated a distance and hid in a cloud, watching Lu Ming from afar. However, they didn't know that they had been discovered by Lu Ming. They didn't make a move. "Looks like they're waiting for the others to arrive so that they can attack together." Lu Ming sneered and continued to cultivate. After half a month, Lu Ming's accumulation in his body had reached its limit. The star cores glowed, and the stellar ring shone brightly. His cultivation had reached the peak of first-level Divine Lord. "Begin the breakthrough." Lu Ming muttered and began to break through to the second-level Divine Lord with all his might. Bang, bang, bang. Lu Ming's body trembled incessantly, but outside his body, no aura leaked out at all. He felt very calm. After several consecutive attacks, finally, in his dantian, a second stellar ring suddenly appeared above the 11 star cores. Second-level Divine Lord, breakthrough. The corners of Lu Ming's mouth curled into a smile. However, he constantly revolved his divine power and suppressed his aura, so as to prevent it from erupting and alarming those few young men not far away. Finally broke through to the second-level Divine Lord. "Come on, I'll kill as many as come." Lu Ming sneered. Breaking through to the second-level Divine Lord, Lu Ming was brimming with confidence. Divine Lord realm, the gap between each level was huge. Wanting to break through was also very difficult. One needed to spend endless resources and time. If not for being on the dragon race's mother planet and having several hundred stocks of divine medicine, Lu Ming definitely wouldn't break through so quickly. Of course, after breaking through, the improvement was also very great. Breaking through to the second-level Divine Lord, Lu Ming's combat strength skyrocketed. Now, if he erupted with full power, he could easily one-shot that red-haired youth from the fire centipede race. However, Lu Ming maintained his composure and continued to cultivate. Several hundred stalks of divine medicine, there was still a portion of medicinal strength that had not been refined. It was just nice to continue absorbing and stabilize his cultivation. While at this time, several more young men appeared around Lu Ming. In this area, there were more and more figures. But these people did not act rashly either. 3 days later, more than 30 young men already appeared in this area. All of them were top heaven's prides. They had seen the video of Lu Ming fighting with the fire centipede race before and knew how powerful Lu Ming was. Since they knew and still dared to come, although they had the intention of relying on their numerical advantage, they themselves also had extremely strong combat strength. "Almost everyone is here. This kid has been there all along without moving. Furthermore, this area is only him. Could it be that he discovered us long ago?" Someone discussed softly. "So what if he discovered? Humph, I'll kill him. You guys help me hold the fort." An extremely burly youth shouted coldly. As his eyes opened and closed, they were filled with violent killing intent. After saying that, he took a step forward. A violent aura erupted, causing the void to tremble. At the same time, his body rapidly expanded, becoming 100 meters tall. His figure was extremely burly, as if he was cast from metal. This was his original body, but it was still in human form. It was like an ordinary person that had expanded many times. Giant race. Lu Ming narrowed his eyes slightly. In the primitive universe, there was a giant race. Their strength was much stronger than the ordinary human race. They were extremely powerful and were also a race on the primitive 10,000 races list. "Brat native, die for me!" The giant race's heaven's pride shouted and blasted a punch towards Lu Ming. The air exploded. The speed was astonishing. The violent fist pressure pressed towards Lu Ming. He's very strong. He's not weaker than that red-haired youth from the fire centipede race. Looks like he's a top heaven's pride of the giant race. Lu Ming's heart stirred. Not only was he not afraid, but he revealed a look of excitement. Chapter 36:14. Kill! Lu Ming roared and soared into the sky. In an instant, Lu Ming activated the battle character art to increase his combat strength by 5 times. At the same time, he activated the power of a drop of primordial divine blood. A layer of dragon scales appeared on his fist. He punched out and his fist collided with the fist of the giant tribe prodigy. Boom! It was like 2 planets colliding. The fist force overflowed and the 2 figures continued to retreat. What a strong force! Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. But just now, he had only used his first-level Divine Lord Cultivation and did not use his full strength. Kid, you have some strength, but it's not enough. Kill. The giant tribe prodigy roared and clenched his fist. A huge axe appeared in his hand, making his aura even more violent. Boom. The huge axe seemed to split open the sky as it slashed towards Lu Ming. This person's strength was really strong. He was definitely not weaker than the red-haired youth of the fire centipede race. But now, Lu Ming did not put him in his eyes. Kill! Lu Ming roared and his aura erupted. The tyrant god's spear appeared in his hand. At the same time, Lu Ming activated all the primordial divine blood in his body. With all the primordial divine blood activated and the power of the tyrant god's spear, Lu Ming's strength was extremely strong. Boom! The tyrant god's spear and the opponent's axe collided, erupting with a violent explosion. Then, the giant tribe prodigy's body trembled and he retreated, his face pale. That attack just now made his entire body numb. The bones in his arm almost broke and the axe in his hand almost shattered. Lu Ming's strength made him tremble. It was impossible to accurately judge the other party's combat strength from the video. Only when he personally fought did he understand how terrifying Lu Ming was. Kill, kill, kill. Lu Ming roared and had already launched a storm of attacks. In an instant, the tyrant god's spear had already struck out dozens of times. Spear light enveloped the giant tribe prodigy's body. The giant tribe prodigy roared and waved his axe to block. But after a few moves, he spat out large mouthfuls of blood and cracks appeared on the axe in his hand. This was his origin secret technique. Save me, come and save me. The genius of the giant tribe roared in fear. Kill! Let's attack together. Loud roars could be heard. There were at least a dozen figures in the surroundings, pouncing toward Lu Ming. Every single one of them exuded a terrifying aura. These people were all top-notch geniuses of various races. They were extremely powerful. Many of them were no weaker than the geniuses of the giant tribe. In fact, some of them were even stronger. Kill. Lu Ming's gaze was cold as the tyrant god's spear continuously blasted out. Bang. Finally, the battle axe in the hands of the giant tribe prodigy exploded. The tyrant god's spear carried with it a terrifying aura as it blasted towards the giant tribe prodigy, making it impossible for him to dodge. No! The genius of the Titan race roared out in fear. At this moment, he was filled with regret. He shouldn't have been impulsive. He shouldn't have charged up alone. He should have attacked together with the others. As the tyrant deity spear descended, the gigantic body of the sky pride of the giant tribe exploded as his body and soul were destroyed. Brat, you're courting death. The other geniuses were furious. In the next moment, more than 10 terrifying attacks were launched. Lu Ming rushed towards Lu Ming. Good timing! Lu Ming roared as the tyrant god's spear vibrated and blasted out more than 10 spears. Boom, boom, boom. Violent explosions rang out. Lu Ming successfully blocked these attacks, although he was forced to retreat. He can't block it. Kill. Kill. More than 10 top-notch geniuses shouted as they unleashed their full strength. All sorts of terrifying attacks were launched towards Lu Ming. With a thought, the wind-extinguishing boots appeared. With the wind-extinguishing boots on his feet, Lu Ming's speed increased explosively. His figure flashed rapidly as he dodged more than half of the attacks. Lu Ming successfully blocked the remaining attacks. Heavenly Evildoer Bell. At the same time, Lu Ming used the Heavenly Evildoer Bell. With a ringing sound, the sound waves that attacked the soul rushed out in all directions. It's a soul attack. The faces of the geniuses changed slightly. Although they all had mysterious soul defensive treasures, under the attack of the heavenly evildoer bell, their divine power still couldn't circulate smoothly. This was Lu Ming's opportunity. He set his sights on a giant snake and charged towards it. This giant snake was the glacier python tribe that Lu Ming had seen before. They were the archenemies of the sacred sparrow tribe. This glacier python was very strong and was no weaker than the giant tribe's genius. However, when it saw Lu Ming coming over, it quickly retreated. However, it was too late. How could its speed compare to Lu Ming's? Sovereign's Gate, Void-Shattering Sword. Lu Ming waved his hand and 5 types of origin source secret techniques flew out towards the glacier python. The glacier python was shocked. Its huge body twisted to block these attacks. Boom, boom. Although the attacks were blocked, Lu Ming's thunderous attack had already been launched. The tyrant god's spear stabbed into the glacier python's head. The glacier python screamed in agony and then stopped moving. Its body fell to the ground and was no longer breathing. Everyone else's expression changed. Lu Ming was still able to kill one of them despite being besieged by so many people. His combat strength was terrifying. Why aren't you guys attacking? Attack him together. He can't last long after using so many origin source secret techniques. Someone shouted. There were more than a dozen people around them who had not attacked. Some of them disdained to join forces with so many people, while others were observing. At this moment, seeing how powerful Lu Ming was, these people could no longer sit still. All of them charged toward Lu Ming. Today, so many of them had joined forces to kill Lu Ming. If they still could not get rid of Lu Ming, it would be very embarrassing. Dozens of experts attacked from all directions. All kinds of attacks were extremely violent and sealed off the area. Lu Ming's expression turned serious. Finally, you guys are attacking together. Today, all of you will die. Lu Ming shouted coldly. Stepping on the wind-extinguishing boots, he kept flashing like a phantom, dodging the attacks. Don't go. You can't hide. Today, you must die without a doubt. Many people roared. Is that so? At this moment, Lu Ming revealed a strange smile. Bang! The next moment, the aura on Lu Ming's body suddenly erupted. Second-level Divine Lord Cultivation fully erupted. Previously, Lu Ming had been using first-level Divine Lord Cultivation all along. The reason why he did so was to lure everyone to attack together so that he could finish them off in one fell swoop. Feeling Lu Ming's aura, the faces of the heavens' prides present changed wildly one after another. Not good. He concealed his strength previously. Someone roared, shocked beyond belief, his voice carrying fear. Previously, Lu Ming was already so powerful. But he actually still concealed his strength and did not fully erupt. Now he fully erupted. How powerful would he be? Ring, ring, ring. The bell of heavenly evil sounded again. The power of the origin source secret technique was also related to severing the shackles. But without a doubt, the higher the cultivation, the stronger the power of the origin source secret technique. Second-level Divine Lord Cultivation powering the bell of heavenly evil, the power was a notch stronger than before. Chapter 36:15. The stronger one's cultivation was, the more powerful the origin source secret technique would be. Under the activation of Lu Ming's second-level Divine Lord Cultivation, the wicked bell also erupted with shocking power. Everyone present was the top prodigies of their respective clans. It was normal for them to have soul defense treasures. Moreover, they were very powerful. Previously, when Lu Ming controlled the wicked bell, it had almost no effect on these people. However, now that the wicked bell's power had increased, it more or less affected these prodigies. Many people trembled. Lu Ming needed this opportunity. Kill! Lu Ming roared and became one with his spear. He turned into a bright spear light and attacked one of the prodigies. The prodigy's face was pale. It was too late for him to dodge. Blood splattered everywhere. The prodigy was killed. Then, Lu Ming pressed the Overlord spear in his hand and changed direction, sweeping towards another prodigy. With a bang, this prodigy was also killed. Lu Ming was bathed in blood. After killing 2 people in a row, he charged towards the third. At this moment, the remaining people finally reacted and their faces changed, especially the prodigy that Lu Ming was charging towards. His face changed drastically and he subconsciously retreated. However, Lu Ming activated his Sovereign's Gate and other origin source secret techniques and charged towards this person, blocking his retreat. Meanwhile, he was stepping on the wind-extinguishing boots and charging with his spear. The Overlord's spear blasted out like a storm. This person only took 3 moves before he was killed by Lu Ming. "Kill him!" someone roared. The remaining people attacked with all their might. Dozens of attacks surged towards Lu Ming, sealing off all the space. Lu Ming's figure kept flashing and dodging most of the attacks. However, there were still some attacks that were difficult to avoid. Swoosh, swoosh. The Overlord's spear kept vibrating, bursting out a bright spear light, blocking these attacks. There was a huge explosion in the sky above the Black Dragon family. In the end, Lu Ming blocked these attacks. At this moment, a terrifying whistling sound came from behind Lu Ming. A saber light slashed towards Lu Ming with shocking power. Lu Ming turned his hand and shot out a spear. Clang! With a violent vibration, the Overlord God's spear buzzed and trembled, and that blade light directly shattered. Lu Ming turned around and attacked, his spear light like a dragon. The one who attacked him just now was a burly young man. This person was very strong. He was one of the strongest among the people who attacked him. His combat strength was even higher than the red-haired young man from the fire centipede race. In an instant, Lu Ming stabbed out more than 10 times. The burly young man's expression changed. Divine power burned all over his body as he unleashed all his strength. He slashed out with his saber and collided with Lu Ming's spear light. This person was indeed very strong. His battle prowess was astonishing. After exchanging more than a dozen moves with Lu Ming, he was forced to retreat and blood kept flowing out of his mouth. However, he managed to withstand the attacks and was not killed. At the same time, the attacks of the others were continuously directed at Lu Ming. With a thought, Lu Ming activated the Gate of Domination and the mysterious Sky Shield. 7 or 8 origin secret techniques blocked around Lu Ming's body. At the same time, a layer of dragon scales appeared on Lu Ming's body. After setting up the defense, Lu Ming ignored the attacks around him and focused on dealing with the burly young man in front of him. Boom, boom, boom. Attacks came from all directions. The first to bear the brunt of the attacks were various origin secret techniques. The sounds of explosions were continuous. The 7 or 8 origin secret techniques were definitely unable to withstand the attacks of these prodigies. They were constantly vibrating and then sent flying. Then, those attacks attacked Lu Ming's body. There were sword light, saber light, spear light, fist prints, flames, and so on. Every attack was incomparably terrifying. However, Lu Ming did not dodge or evade. He attacked the burly young man in front of him with all his strength. Those attacks all landed on Lu Ming's body and instantly drowned Lu Ming. However, the Overlord God's spear in Lu Ming's hand did not stop attacking. It kept blasting at the burly young man. The burly young man finally could not withstand it. His chest was pierced by the Overlord God's spear, and a hole appeared. However, this time, Lu Ming also did not feel good. The various lights disappeared, and several wounds appeared on Lu Ming's body. He had stimulated the primordial divine blood and turned it into dragon scales. His defensive power was extremely shocking. Of the dozens of prodigies, only a few were able to break through his defense and leave a wound on his body. However, after being blocked by the dragon scales, the power of those attacks was already very weak. Lu Ming only suffered superficial injuries. It was not a big deal. At this moment, he was covered in blood and looked even more sinister and terrifying. "You lunatic!" The burly young man in front of him roared in horror. His eyes were filled with terror. Lu Ming did not hesitate to get injured to keep staring at him. This kind of person was too terrifying. He wanted to escape, but his chest had been pierced by Lu Ming, and his heart had exploded. He was already heavily injured, and his chi and blood had withered. He could not escape even if he wanted to. "I'll send you on your way," Lu Ming shouted. Holding his spear with both hands, he pressed down like Mount Tai. Boom! A huge spear light attacked the burly young man. That spear was unstoppable. The burly young man roared in horror. He tried to use his remaining strength to block it, but it was all in vain. Under the pressure of the tyrant god's spear, the burly young man's body exploded, his body and soul destroyed. An extremely terrifying prodigy had fallen. The others were shocked, and fear appeared in their eyes. He's already injured. Moreover, he's fought continuously. He must have used up a lot of divine power. Don't retreat, continue attacking. That's right. If we retreat now, I'm afraid we'll become a laughingstock and be ridiculed by others. A few of the young men shouted, their eyes still filled with killing intent. That's right. Continue attacking. He won't be able to last much longer. Kill! The others also roared. Clenching their teeth, they continued to attack Lu Ming, using all their strength. Courting death. Lu Ming's gaze was cold as he stared at a purple-skinned young man. This person was one of the people who insisted on killing Lu Ming earlier. Furthermore, his strength was very strong, able to breach Lu Ming's defenses. Lu Ming's footsteps stepped repeatedly, his figure flickering continuously, avoiding a portion of the attacks. Then, man and spear became one, spinning non-stop, breaking through one attack after another, charging toward the purple-skinned young man. The purple-skinned young man's expression changed. A streak of purple sword light burst forth from his hand, sparkling and translucent, slashing toward Lu Ming. With a bang, the sword light dissipated. The purple-skinned young man's figure flashed repeatedly, hiding behind the other young men. The outcome of that burly young man just now, he saw it with his eyes and did not dare to be targeted by Lu Ming. His expression was very grim. He really miscalculated this time. He did not expect that Lu Ming's combat strength was even stronger than imagined. Before coming, he was very confident, because his combat strength was extremely powerful. Although he was also a third-level Divine Lord, he killed other third-level Divine Lord Heaven's prides as easily as chopping melons and vegetables. But he did not expect that Lu Ming's combat strength was even more terrifying. Facing Lu Ming, he could only retreat. However, Lu Ming clearly would not let him avoid. Lu Ming stepped on the wind-extinguishing boots, his speed extremely astonishing. Furthermore, he ignored the others, staring fixedly at the purple-skinned young man. Chapter 36:16. Lu Ming's speed was even faster than the purple-skinned youth's. He quickly caught up and unleashed a barrage of attacks. Spear light filled the sky, enveloping the purple-skinned youth. He had no way to retreat. Damn it, attack with all your strength. Attack with all your strength. He won't be able to resist. The purple-skinned youth crazily roared. At the same time, he crazily attacked. His purple sword light whistled, slashing towards Lu Ming's spear light. However, he was completely suppressed by Lu Ming. The sword light and spear light collided. The sword light trembled and then directly shattered. The other heavenly geniuses naturally didn't give up on attacking. All sorts of attacks constantly bombarded Lu Ming's body, but Lu Ming didn't care. Only a few people were able to break through his dragon scales. This was also because Lu Ming now had 7 drops of primordial divine blood. After activating them, they were extremely powerful. If it was just 1 drop, they definitely wouldn't be so strong. Lu Ming didn't care about the others' attacks. He only focused on the purple-skinned youth. This caused the purple-skinned youth to panic. He truly panicked. How is this possible? How can this brat's attack still be so fierce? How can he still maintain his divine power? The purple-skinned youth was horrified. He couldn't understand how Lu Ming's divine power could be so strong. However, no matter how horrified he was, his fate was already sealed. Although he was strong, he was only on the same level as that burly youth from before. Under Lu Ming's barrage of attacks, he was finally killed by a single spear strike. At this moment, the remaining geniuses were filled with shock and fear. In this short period of time, 4 or 5 of their heavenly geniuses had already been killed by Lu Ming. Furthermore, 2 of them were peak heavenly geniuses. Most importantly, they seemed unable to break through Lu Ming's defenses. Even if they did, Lu Ming would only be lightly injured. If this continued, Lu Ming would sooner or later kill them one by one. Let's go, we're leaving first. Right, let the heavenly geniuses of the stronger races kill him. I heard that some people have already broken through and reached the 4th level Divine Lord realm. Let those people kill him. The remaining people didn't dare to continue fighting. They all retreated, turning and flying into the distance. Do you think it's that easy to come and go as you please? Lu Ming harumphed coldly. With a cold look in his eyes, he stepped on the wind-extinguishing boots and turned into a series of shadows, dashing towards the Sky Prides. Not good. The expressions of those Sky Prides changed drastically, and there was not a trace of blood in their faces. Lu Ming let out a long roar. His spear light stretched for tens of thousands of miles and pressed down on the few Sky Prides. Block it! Those heavenly geniuses roared in terror. They used all their strength to block Lu Ming's attack. But their strength was still lacking compared to the purple-skinned youth. They were unable to block Lu Ming's full-powered attack. As the spear light fell, the bodies and souls of the geniuses were destroyed. This made the other geniuses even more terrified. They scattered and ran for their lives. Kill! Lu Ming chased in another direction and killed a few more people. In the end, a total of more than 10 geniuses were left here forever, while the rest escaped. With so many Sky Prides fleeing, no matter how strong Lu Ming was, there was no way he could keep them all here. Very quickly, the area calmed down. Lu Ming collected the spatial rings of the slain heavenly geniuses and checked them one by one. Regretfully, he was disappointed. He didn't gain anything. Even if these people had obtained divine medicines or treasures like the Life Genesis grass or Heavenly Origin fruit, they would have already used them. After all, the current dragon race's mother planet was filled with experts. Refining these treasures to raise their cultivation bases and strength was the best way. The stronger you were, the better you could suppress the crowd and obtain better treasures. It was a virtuous cycle. Lu Ming had originally wanted to see if there were any treasures like the Dragon Bloodstone. But regretfully, he didn't see any. After tidying up, Lu Ming returned to the Black Dragon family. Not long after, the dream space was in an uproar. Someone posted the recording of the battle between the Sky Prides and Lu Ming to the public area of the dream space, causing a commotion. Lu Ming killed many Sky Prides in a row. Such powerful strength was shocking. Some people secretly rejoiced that they didn't participate in the hunt for Lu Ming. As for the majority of the people, they were furious. Especially some races, whose Sky Prides had died in Lu Ming's hands, were even more furious. A mere aboriginal is so arrogant, courting death. Our strongest Sky Pride is currently breaking through to the 4th level Divine Lord realm. Once he succeeds, immediately kill him. The divine dragon race has already become a thing of the past. The dragon race's mother planet is our training ground. We can't allow the local aboriginals to rise. Many powerful existences spread the word that they wanted to gather more experts to kill Lu Ming. However, they were soon slapped in the face. Because there were others who went to kill the 8-clawed divine dragon, as well as another young dragon man wearing a flaming dragon armor, they didn't succeed either. Many of them were killed, and the other party broke out of the encirclement. This also caused a commotion. The fantasy space was quiet for a while, and then there was an even greater clamor. Someone spread the word that they must completely suppress and kill the local Sky Prides of the dragon race. For a time, a storm was brewing. It's really lively. Lu Ming looked at the fantasy space for a while and smiled faintly. Regarding this, he didn't care. As long as he was strong enough, he didn't need to fear these people. However, Lu Ming had to consider another problem. It was him who killed so many races' Sky Prides. Could it be that he wouldn't leave the dragon race's mother planet in the future? Once he left the dragon race's mother planet and trained in the primitive universe, there would probably be enemies everywhere. There's no other way. If I don't kill them, they will kill me. I'll take it one step at a time. At the critical moment, I can reveal my identity and say that I'm not from the dragon race's mother planet. In this way, I'll only offend a portion of people and not all of them. Lu Ming was thinking. However, unless it was a last resort, Lu Ming wouldn't do this. He now needed the locals of the dragon race's mother planet to help him find the whereabouts of Xian Yanqing and Qiuyu. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Lu Ming circulated the universe myriad Dao technique and began to cultivate. In the surrounding space, a steady stream of divine qi gathered toward Lu Ming and was refined by Lu Ming. Not long after, Lu Ming recovered to his peak state. Then, Lu Ming sent a voice transmission to Feng Zhou. Not long after, Feng Zhou and the others returned to the Black Dragon family. Unfortunately, there was still no news of Qiuyu and Xian Yanqing. However, they heard some other news. Many of the native Dragonians of the dragon race's mother planet had already broken through to the Divine Lord realm. Some of them even had conflicts with outsiders and were forcefully suppressed. The conflict between the outsiders and the native Dragonians was getting deeper and deeper. Lu Ming thought for a moment and then asked Feng Zhou to open the Black Dragon Valley. He entered the Black Dragon Valley again. With his current strength, he could enter deeper into the Black Dragon Valley. Moreover, Qiuyu was teleported away from the six-clawed Black Dragon's base. This was the Black Dragon Valley. Lu Ming had always suspected that Qiuyu might be in the depths of the Black Dragon Valley. Although Feng Zhou once said that the Black Dragon had left behind many ruins on the dragon race's mother planet, the Black Dragon Valley was not the only one. Chapter 36:17. Very quickly, Lu Ming arrived at the same place he had been last time and continued forward. Not long after, he encountered a fourth-layer Divine Lord Draconic Beast. Lu Ming used his full strength to kill the fourth-layer Divine Lord Draconic Beast and continued his exploration. This exploration lasted for a few days. However, Lu Ming's luck seemed to have run out. Or perhaps, Lu Ming had already dug up all the dragon bloodstones in the Black Dragon Valley. In these past few days, Lu Ming hadn't found a single dragon bloodstone. However, he had found quite a few divine herbs. Moreover, the deeper he went into the Black Dragon Valley, the denser the divine energy, and the more extraordinary the divine herbs. Lu Ming guessed that there might be divine herbs in the depths of the Black Dragon Valley that would be useful to divine emperors or even higher experts. In addition, Lu Ming had obtained 7 stalks of Genesis grass. This was a great harvest. Lu Ming retreated at this time because the draconic beasts were too strong and he couldn't continue forward. After leaving the Black Dragon Valley and returning to the Black Dragon family, Lu Ming began to refine the Genesis grass. After refining all 7 stalks of Genesis grass, Lu Ming had 2 more divine powers that had undergone their 5th awakening. In this way, Lu Ming had a total of 5 divine powers that had undergone their 5th awakening. His strength had increased by a bit. In addition, Lu Ming had also refined 3 heavenly source fruits. The heavenly source fruit could help people sever the shackles of their origin's secret arts. However, all of Lu Ming's origin secret arts had severed 1 shackle. Wanting to sever the second shackle was too difficult, 10 times harder than the first. Lu Ming had originally wanted to sever the Tyrant God Spear's second shackle, but unfortunately, even after refining 3 heavenly source fruits, he still hadn't succeeded. However, he could feel that he had already taken a huge step forward. He wasn't far from severing the second shackle. If he had a few more heavenly source fruits, he would definitely succeed. Once he severed the Tyrant God Spear's second shackle, it would release an even more terrifying power. Let's go take a look at the Evil Soul Valley. Lu Ming muttered. Lu Ming had learned about the Evil Spirit Valley from Feng Zhou. It was located to the north of the Black Dragon Valley, a long distance away. There was a strange place here called the Evil Soul Valley. It was strange and unpredictable. Before the Dragon Clan's mother planet recovered, this was a forbidden area. After the mother planet of the Dragon Clan had recovered, this place had become even more sinister. The native dragon people did not dare to go there. However, in Lu Ming's eyes, some of the relics and forbidden areas on the dragon race's mother planet might contain great opportunities. Now that Lu Ming had already explored the Golden Dragon Ridge and the Black Dragon Valley, it would be very difficult to go any further unless Lu Ming's battle prowess had another major breakthrough. However, Lu Ming's cultivation had just broken into the Divine Lord realm not too long ago. Even if he had the best cultivation environment, it was impossible for him to make a breakthrough in a short period of time, unless he had a massive number of divine medicines. Therefore, Lu Ming's eyes were fixed on other relics, holy lands, forbidden areas, and so on. The Evil Soul Valley was the closest to the Black Dragon family, so Lu Ming planned to explore it. The Dreamland was still in an uproar, but it would not be so easy to organize experts to deal with Lu Ming again. Moreover, Lu Ming had warned Feng Zhou and the others that if a powerful enemy came, they should immediately leave the Black Dragon family and scatter to various places. It was more important to protect their lives. After preparing, Lu Ming set off and headed north. Along the way, he did not encounter any outside Sky Prides. Now, the Sky Prides from outside were eager to explore the various relics and holy lands to obtain opportunities, so they would not wander around. However, Lu Ming did encounter some native dragon people. Some of these people were controlled by outsiders, who asked them to search for divine medicines and treasures. Some dragon people were unwilling to be controlled by outsiders. Like the people of the Black Dragon family, they scattered to various places to avoid outsiders and search for divine medicines to cultivate. Lu Ming ignored these people and flew north. On the dragon race's mother planet, Lu Ming's flying speed became extremely slow. After flying for 3 days, Lu Ming arrived at his destination, the Evil Soul Valley. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Gusts of cold wind blew, making people shiver. Lu Ming used his divine power to resist. In front of him, there was a huge valley. It was incomparably wide and filled with fog. He could not see the end of it. Lu Ming did not hesitate and directly rushed in. In the Evil Soul Valley, the cold air was even more intense, and the cold wind whistled. Lu Ming used his divine power to protect his body, slowed down, and slowly walked into the Evil Soul Valley. Will a place like this really contain opportunities? Will it give birth to treasures? Lu Ming whispered, expressing some doubts. Soon, Lu Ming traveled a few hundred miles. There were roars and cries, and the wind whistled, pouncing toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming thought it was a dragon beast. With a wave of his hand, divine light flashed and swept out, and several creatures of different forms exploded. There were tiger-shaped creatures, bird-shaped creatures, and some other strange creatures. There were as many as 7 or 8 of them. However, these creatures seemed to be illusory. After being broken by Lu Ming's divine light, they condensed again and let out all kinds of strange cries, pouncing toward Lu Ming again. Spirit bodies. Lu Ming frowned. These creatures were not flesh and blood creatures, but spirit bodies. No wonder the move just now was useless. It was as if he had hit empty air. All kinds of strange cries came from all directions, and it was extremely ear-piercing. Then, all kinds of spirit bodies appeared. These soul bodies were very brutal. There was a murderous aura in their eyes, and they were filled with murderous intent. They charged at Lu Ming crazily. The tyrant god's spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand and swept out. Bang, bang, bang. These spirit bodies all exploded, but in the next moment, they condensed again. What strong and strange spirit bodies. They can't be killed. Lu Ming was a little surprised. Even if they were spirit bodies with their attack power, they would be destroyed in one blow. However, these spirit bodies had astonishing vitality and were fine. As expected of the Evil Soul Valley, it lives up to its name. There was a terrible war on the Dragon Clan's mother planet. Not only did the Divine Dragon Clan suffer heavy casualties, but the other clans that came to attack also suffered heavy losses. I don't know how many experts died in the war. Could these souls have mutated from those experts who died in the war? Lu Ming guessed in his heart. The battle back then was incomparably fierce, and who knows how many experts died in the battle. Moreover, these experts were astonishingly strong. They were not as simple as divine kings or divine lords. Even divine emperors and stronger existences had died in the battle. These existences mutated into evil spirits after death. It was incomparably strange. Is there really an opportunity in this place? Lu Ming seriously doubted and wanted to retreat. Moreover, he did not see any other outsiders occupying this place. He reckoned that he would really have made a wasted trip. However, since he was already here, he was not willing to let Lu Ming retreat like this. Lu Ming was a little unwilling. He planned to continue exploring. Son of the Sun, Lu Ming's heart stirred. His body lit up, and a sun appeared above his head. Chapter 36:18. The sun was extremely young, and it was most effective against evil souls. As expected, the sun emitted a dazzling light. When those evil souls were swept by the light, they let out a sizzling sound and quickly retreated. It's effective. Lu Ming smiled and stepped forward. As soon as he stepped forward, those evil souls retreated, as if they were afraid of the sun's light. Lu Ming smiled and increased his speed. On the way, more and more evil souls surrounded Lu Ming. These evil souls came in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and they came from different races. Lu Ming carefully identified these races. The majority of them came from the great races of the great desolate 10,000 races. In this way, Lu Ming traveled another 10,000 miles. Unfortunately, he didn't find anything. This territory seemed to be a barren land. Kid, go to the left. There's something there. Suddenly, Bone Devil spoke. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with anticipation. Could there really be a treasure? Lu Ming immediately went to the left. Not long after, Lu Ming saw a stalk of grass. Evil Soul Valley was barren and deathly silent. But now, he saw a stalk of grass. It was simply a miracle. This stalk of grass was pitch black, and it emitted powerful spiritual strength. This is 10,000 soul grass. It's extremely precious. Even god kings would be envious of it and fight over it. After consuming it, not only will it strengthen your soul and increase your lifespan, but it will also increase the strength of your soul. Bone Devil explained. Lu Ming's eyes brightened. Ignoring everything else, just the fact that even god kings would be envious of it was priceless. There weren't many things that were valuable to god kings, and each of them was precious. For example, the divine medicines Lu Ming had obtained before were only useful to divine sovereigns. They weren't useful to god kings. Of course, he couldn't rule out the possibility that Golden Dragon Ridge or Black Dragon Valley had divine medicines that were useful to god kings. But Lu Ming couldn't get them right now. Lu Ming strode forward, wanting to pick the 10,000 soul grass. But, suddenly, dozens of evil souls flew out from the ground around the 10,000 spirit grass. They roared and charged at Lu Ming. Even the light of the sun could not stop these evil souls. The top 100 races of the wilderness, 10,000 races. Lu Ming's eyes narrowed. He could tell that these phantoms were from the top 100 tribes of the ancient desolation 10,000 tribes ranking. These tribes were not to be underestimated. They possessed incredible talents, and the phantoms they turned into after their deaths were extremely powerful as well. The sun did not have much effect on them. However, Lu Ming still had a backup plan. Bell of Evil. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat, and the wicked bell appeared, making a ringing sound. The bell of heavenly evil was used to affect souls. Since it could attack souls, it could naturally attack these evil souls as well. The sound of the heavenly evil bell spread out, and the evil souls were greatly affected. Their soul bodies began to tremble, and their faces became ferocious. They twisted together and let out ear-piercing screams. Go! Lu Ming waved his hands and the great sun flew out, sprinkling rays of strong yang rays. Those soul bodies emitted sizzling sounds, emitting bursts of black smoke. It was indeed effective. The combination of the wicked bell and the sun finally had a great effect on these evil souls. Lu Ming stepped forward, and the evil souls retreated in fear. Soon, Lu Ming arrived in front of the 10,000 spirit grass. He took out a jade box and put the 10,000 spirit grass into his storage ring. If the old Taishu Saint Emperor knew about this 10,000 spirit grass, he would probably go crazy. Lu Ming muttered. The 10,000 spirit grass was very useful to divine emperors, as it could extend their lifespan. The Taishu Saint Emperor had searched for this treasure for his entire life, but he could not find it. After Lu Ming put it away, he left. The evil souls did not dare to chase after Lu Ming. After obtaining the 10,000 spirit grass, Lu Ming became interested in this area. Although it was deathly still, the treasures it produced were not to be underestimated. Life was a strange thing. Life could be born in any harsh environment. The worse the environment, the more likely it was to produce peerless treasures. Sure enough, in the next half a day, Lu Ming found 2 more divine herbs. These two divine herbs contained a large amount of life energy. A deathly still place could produce treasures that contained a large amount of life energy. It was really strange. Moreover, Bone Devil speculated that this divine herb would be very useful to divine emperors, as it could help them break through. But for divine emperors, the energy was too strong and could not be refined. It would cause them to explode. Even so, if they sold it, it would be invaluable. Old Liang, can you refine this divine herb? Lu Ming asked about the measure formula. This divine herb was very useful to divine emperors. If the measure formula could refine it, wouldn't his cultivation advance by leaps and bounds? I can refine it, but it's a divine herb exclusive to divine emperors. Its medicinal strength is too strong. My ability to refine it is closely related to your cultivation level. Given your current cultivation level, I won't be able to refine it as fast as you. Said the measure formula. It's fine if it's slow. I'll give you one. Lu Ming took out a divine herb and had the measure formula swallow it. At this moment, the black mist churned, and several figures appeared, surrounding Lu Ming. They're not evil souls. Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. These few figures were filled with powerful vitality and blood aura. They were not evil souls at all, but living creatures. He hadn't expected that there would be other people in Evil Soul Valley besides him. Wu people. Then, Lu Ming looked around and narrowed his eyes. There were 4 people in total, all wrapped in black robes embroidered with strange patterns. Lu Ming recognized them at first glance. They were the elites of the Wu people. The sorcerer tribe had done a lot of research on souls and specialized in souls. This place might be very attractive to the sorcerer tribe, so it was normal for them to come here. I didn't expect that there would be other people here besides us. What should we do? The Wu people talked for a while and sized up Lu Ming. Kill him, of course. We can't let this kid ruin our plan, said one of the Wu people. Then, the Wu people took out all kinds of treasures, such as wooden fish, small bells, and so on. Let's attack together. This kid also uses a secret art that attacks souls. Be careful. Several members of the Wu tribe glanced at the bell of evil. Ring, ring, ring. Clang. Then, the 4 Wu people's elites attacked directly. 4 kinds of sounds turned into sound waves that attacked souls and surged toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming also activated the heavenly evil bell to block the attacks of these people. At the same time, the 4 Wu people's elites waved their hands, and puppets appeared one after another. They screamed and attacked Lu Ming. There were at least dozens of puppets, and they were all very strong. Kill. Lu Ming shouted coldly. He waved the Overlord spear and stared at one of the Wu people's elites. The spear light shone brightly and exploded 7 or 8 puppets. The 4 Wu people's elites were shocked. Obviously, Lu Ming's strength was beyond their expectations. Chapter 36:19. Lu Ming stared at a Wu people youth and attacked fiercely. He wiped out a group of puppets in an instant, and his spear stabbed toward that person like a dragon. Boom! The puppets in front of that person exploded. That Wu people youth was only a 3rd-level divine lord, and he was just an ordinary prodigy, not a top one. Lu Ming had already killed a few of such people before entering the dragon race's mother planet. How could this person stop Lu Ming? The spear light completely enveloped the Wu people youth, and his expression changed drastically. He was about to use a scarecrow substitute to dodge the sure kill attack. However, Lu Ming had fought with the Wu people a few times and knew their tricks. With a thought, the gate of domination flew out and released a powerful suction force, sealing the void. Then, the spear light pressed down, and the Wu people youth screamed as his body was torn into pieces. Under the suppression of the gate of domination, that person's scarecrow substitute couldn't be used at all. All of this seemed to take a long time, but it actually happened in an instant. In an instant, Lu Ming had already killed a Wu people prodigy. At the same time, the puppets used by the other Wu people were only approaching Lu Ming. Boom! The Overlord God's spear swept out, and the puppets exploded one by one. The remaining 3 Wu people had ugly expressions. In their eyes, Lu Ming was their nemesis. Soul attacks were useless against Lu Ming, and they couldn't even use Scarecrow substitute. Distance yourself. A Wu people youth's hoarse voice rang out as he quickly retreated. The Wu people had strange means and powerful soul power, but their divine bodies weren't strong enough, and they couldn't fight in close combat. If they encountered an ordinary opponent, they could use soul attacks to disturb the opponent and release puppets to kill the opponent directly. However, it was obviously ineffective against Lu Ming. They could only retreat and use other means to attack Lu Ming. The three Wu people youths rapidly retreated. Then, with a wave of their hands, rays of gray divine light shot towards Lu Ming. These rays of divine light were filled with corrosive energy and had an incomparably foul stench. Lu Ming waved his hand and several spear lights burst out, destroying the gray energy. He then stepped on the wind-extinguishing boots and quickly approached the three Wu people youths. The time has come. At this moment, one of the Wu people shouted and quickly formed a seal. As his hands formed a seal, Lu Ming's body suddenly felt a tearing pain, as if he was being bitten by thousands of insects. Lu Ming took a look and discovered that countless light spots had appeared on the surface of his body. They were densely packed. These light spots were actually worms. Countless tiny bugs, with mouths like two knives, kept biting Lu Ming's body, as if they wanted to tear Lu Ming apart. Goo worm. Lu Ming frowned slightly. This should be a type of goo worm. It was very powerful. And it was very strange. Lu Ming actually didn't notice when the other party had planted the goo worm on him. These Wu people are really not easy to deal with. Even if you're stronger than them, you can still be killed by them. But now that you've met me, break. Lu Ming shouted and activated the power of the primordial divine blood. A dragon's roar resounded. Countless divine dragons seemed to rush out of Lu Ming's body. These were all formed from boundless energy, and their power was boundless. When they charged out, those goo worms exploded one after another. In the blink of an eye, the densely packed goo worms were all smashed to pieces. The Wu people youth who had planted the goo worms trembled and spat out a mouthful of blood. Run! With a loud roar, he tried to escape. But how could Lu Ming let them escape? At this moment, he activated the power of the primordial divine blood. His battle strength was extremely strong and he caught up with the three Wu people prodigies like a gust of wind. Boom! The Overlord's spear swept out with the Overlord God's gate. Bang! Bang! After two consecutive explosions, two of the sorcerer tribe's geniuses exploded and died on the spot. The third Wu people youth didn't explode, but he was severely injured. He flew 100 meters and fell to the ground, spitting out blood. He couldn't move anymore. Of course, Lu Ming had shown mercy. Otherwise, he wouldn't have survived. Lu Ming purposely left one of them behind because he had something to ask. In a flash, Lu Ming landed beside the young man from the sorcerer tribe and stepped on him. This step was like a mountain pressing down on the Wu people youth, making it difficult for him to move. Kid, how dare you kill the Wu people? You're dead. Do you know how powerful the Wu people are? 120 on the 10,000 races list. The Wu people youth shouted. At the same time, his forehead glowed and a jade talisman appeared. This was the dreamy sacred jade. He wanted to use the dreamy sacred jade to spread the news. However, Lu Ming would not let him have his way. He kicked the man's eyebrows, causing him to feel dizzy. Then, Lu Ming grabbed the dreamy sacred jade with his palm. Tell me, what are the Wu people doing here? How many people are here other than you? Lu Ming asked coldly. He didn't believe that only 4 people from the Wu people were here. There must be more. Kill me if you want. Dream on if you want me to say something. The Wu people youth looked coldly at Lu Ming. Then I'll send you on your way. Lu Ming exerted force with his foot and stomped the person to death. If the youth didn't say anything, he didn't care. At most, he would be more careful. It seems that there are indeed a lot of Wu people here. I have to be more careful. I can't be so ostentatious. Lu Ming looked at the heavenly evildoer bell, which was suspended in the air with a headache, and the sun. Both of them were too ostentatious. The solar sun was suspended above his head, like a big light bulb. It could be seen from a distance. Although the wicked bell didn't emit any light, it had to ring non-stop in order to deal with the evil souls in the surroundings. It could be heard from far away. Therefore, he couldn't use these two things. After thinking for a while, Lu Ming had an idea. With a thought, he put away the heavenly evildoer bell and the great solar sun, leaving only the wind-extinguishing boots. As soon as the evil bell and the solar sun were put away, the evil souls around screamed and rushed at Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming increased his speed. His body flashed like a phantom, avoiding the evil souls one by one. He passed through the gaps between these evil souls and went deep into the evil soul valley. These evil souls were also fast, but they were still slower than Lu Ming. Lu Ming's figure seemed to have turned into an illusion. He kept flashing and successfully avoided the evil souls as he continued to move forward. Ordinary evil souls couldn't catch up with Lu Ming. Of course, there were some evil souls with amazing strength and speed. They were the evil souls ranked in the top 100 of the list of 10,000 primitive tribes. When he encountered these evil souls, Lu Ming took a detour from afar and did not fight them head-on.